or we would have gone somewhere else if you weren't playing. So we're here anyway. Okay. Well, he's probably more Nico's zone, really.
Yes.
Chris Nichols sort of developed a bit of a relationship there.
Well, we tried to get Darnell Edwards up for a while, didn't we? But
he doesn't want to train.
He doesn't want to train, so he's not going to be K-Rock zone, unfortunately.
Players are in position. Umpires are in position. We're in position here at West Oval for this first quarter of action, thanks to Geelong Bank and Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. You'll find them during Hap Street in Geelong. And players, just any Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchups. Nice little matchup here with Petering and Gribble on this near side wing.
Yeah, absolutely. And
nice little one in the middle too. Lockie Patton and Ethan Little.
Yeah, they're just going to go just next to each other, I think, at the stoppage. And as they do generally with midfielders, they'll switch it around at each stoppage.
Lockie Hanley to Jackson Sheringham, 2 for Wombat Gully Plant Farm is nice as well. First quarter, here's Jason Doherty.
So Tyler Watts goes up, but Edwards gets it down for Bell Park in the middle. Free kick found umpire. And it's going to come back. I think Lockie Patton was held onto in the middle by Little, so he's going to take the first free kick of the afternoon and plays on now, goes on that familiar left foot inside 50. No mark taken at the front of the pack. They get it away through Jasper George, Bell Park, but it comes back quickly towards the top of the square. Gribble's outside. Tyler Watts is there as well. Free kick for a hold. And I think Geelong West in the last line of defence are going to get it. They get it through Wood.
Wood gives a handball off and the low down ball taken nicely. They'll get out of trouble here. Exchange of handballs, Hanley involved. Now the clearing kick is a high ball. Might have been Hall coming out very, very wide, looking for a marking target, can't find one. Lockie Hanley knocks it to his own advantage and then delivers along the line, a skidding ball that Hall tries to keep alive. That's Hall now with the footy on broadcast wing, and he hits Collins with a low ball, but he's too far out to score. From watching the reserve grade clash, everything hanging into the breeze to the Melbourne end of the ground. Jackson Collins with 12 goals this year, coming off 3 last week. The skipper against the co-skipper against Leopold. So he just sets it up to about 15 out from goal. And Anand, I reckon, being held by Darcy Brown and will win himself a free kick. And then advantage has been paid and the goal has been kicked. Now, I'm not sure who might have kicked the goal. I'm just having a look down. There might be Moy has kicked the goal. They're all going to Phil Moy. So he has another one to his 16 for the season. They've got the first blood on the K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard. 1 straight 6. Bell Park yet to score in this opening term of action on K-Rock football.
We talk about it each week, don't we? Those long points, Jason. He probably assessed that pretty well, Collins, that he not to kick the ball high up into the wind. He probably knew he was outside the range with the breeze, and just that smart kick to a dangerous area. And Anand on the move, that's what made him hold on to him.
Back to the middle, Watts up against Edwards. Edwards gets it down again, rode by Lovell though for Geelong West, gets it outboard to Little. His handball further afield, and now Ballantyne on centre wing, keeping his width, goes inside 50. Benstead across there for Bell Park. He can't pick it up. Pack develops. The Parker's in defence. A little chain of handballs. The handball came out from Worm. He couldn't quite hit a target. Now they get it outside 50. They run out of room, I think, and they couldn't keep the ball in the field of play. We're going to have a boundary throw in about 55 around from the West goal.
2.5 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. No better way to travel to the footy than Port Phillip Ferries. Ball back into play, right half forward, northern end of the ground. Watts doing the ruck work against Edwards. Here's Patton again, but he had his kick partially smothered. Handball out wide, a chance to go forward now through Ballantyne. A high kick that will bounce just inside the field of play, or is it out in the full? In fact, it's out on the full. It'll be a free kick to the Dragons at left half back. Really got to make the use of the breeze, don't they?
They do, and they're just going to probably kick more than they need to handball this quarter.
Ben Worm, I think, with the resultant free kick, ran himself into trouble and had to kick high over the man on the mark. It is a floating ball that Charlie Sarcevic sits under, but Ballantyne spoils, knocks out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Just forward of the wing, slightly favouring the Giants, who lead 1 straight 6. Bell Park yet to score opening quarter, gone 3 minutes from West Oval.
So throw in on the outer side for Watts and Edwards again. Edwards works his way to the front. Handley couldn't take it with him. Getting out of the contest was McMahon for Bell Park. Goes towards Merkovic. He can't pick it up, but was able to put the tackle on. Ball spills free. Umpire says still play on. A little toe poke might favour Bell Park. They've got some numbers there, and they get the kick. A high kick up the chimney inside 50. Sarcevic has to stand under it. Tobin comes at it as well. Pushing the back from Sheringham. Umpire says it will hold. Pushing the back, whichever one you'd like. And Geelong West through Handley, going to go short to Gribble, still inside defensive 50. And now he's going to go short with a terrible-looking kick. Oh, hits Little on the shoulder as it bounces up, but he gets the 1-2. He might be able to switch the play to the outer side. Half-back flank, it's okay, and Wood takes the mark.
Bradley Wood at right half-back, fourth in last year's best and fairest, sends it long towards half forward, but that's a poor, or the winger, that's a poor kick into the breeze. He's put it out on the full, and Worm will be the recipient of the free kick. Only Ben Worm this afternoon. No James. James out through injury. One of 3 changes made by the Dragons for this afternoon's clash. Worm with the aid of the breeze, a high long ball inside forward 50, and Sarcevic judged it best and took a nice mark. That's Jack. Now he goes on his left to the pocket, and it's a well-weighted kick that Merkovic has taken in the left forward pocket. So they moved the footy well there. Sarcevic well within his rights to have a shot. He would have been within the distance. Merkovic steps out, comes on the J-curve, snaps, but has pushed it across the face and through for a minor score. So the first on the board for Bell Park, first score that is a behind. They're one behind Geelong West, 1 straight 6 on the first quarter. K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard.
So Josh Dwyer for Geelong West with the kicking in duties. Oh, short little kick. Just hits the target. And we'll drive it on quickly outside defensive 50. And mark probably should have been taken by David Handley. Wasn't, and off hands. And we're going to have a boundary throwing right in front of the best seats in the house thanks to Atco Cafe 24/7. We're at a right half forward for Bell Park. Boundary throw in. Watts in front, gets it down. Handley front and centre was good. He gets it overboard to his brother who runs through the middle. And now Lockie Handley goes towards half forward, kick though, turnover. And Bell Park able to come back the other way. Go towards Sheringham, back into the centre square, wants to play on, takes a bounce, runs through the cricket pitch area, tumbling punt, and it's all Geelong West at the back. It's called touched off the boot, so Wood had to get it out wide, does. Ballantyne takes the mark at half back for the home side.
The Footscray VFL listed Ballantyne back today. The kick on the 45, marked at the point of the square at right half back by David Handley. Gives it off by hand back to Ballantyne, but it was on the bounce, fended off the would-be tackle of Patton, and then managing to get a kick away. No, Cod. Good tackle. Yeah, it was kicked, so he's got an argument that he shouldn't have been pinged for the tackle by Sarcevic, but it has been paid. His kick on the half volley. Patton got a handball out the side door. Chance now with a shot on goal. Might be Tobin. It is. No. In fact, it's Fulton. Yeah. Fulton with a nice finish from 45 out. Just making the most of a couple of mistakes, and that's that polish that Greg Mellor spoke about in the pre-game for Geelong West, where they just lacked a little bit of polish and were made to pay.
It's funny, both coaches talked about the way they'd like to be cleaner with the ball, and you've seen it so far, a couple out on the full, some messy turnovers and just some clangers here and there, and that's what's cost a goal probably both ways. So, it's going to be who's going to be the cleanest today, I think, in all contests.
K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard. Bell Park 1-1-7, Geelong West 1 straight 6. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years, 7 minutes played.
So back to the middle. Watts for Geelong West. Edwards rucking probably solo this afternoon. The big man, he gets it down as well. Patton, free kick found. Going to go to Bell Park for a hold against Patton again. So second free kick to the skipper of Bell Park in this first term. He goes short to the last goal scorer, Fulton. Takes the mark in between his knees in the end. He fumbled it. Now he goes, oh, that's a good kick. Worm burner straight to Ned Payne. Debut this afternoon for Ned Payne. First kick, and he wants that back. He's turned it over. No mark taken though. West under pressure, a little bit of polish again. There, Watts has to come in. Sheringham wraps him up, and we're going to have a ball up 45 out from the goal.
We talk about polish, but it was a VFL player who dropped that mark, so there's just sort of that pressure around you as well.
Edwards gets it down with the left fist. It's a good kick around the corner. Off a step, if you don't mind.
Goodness.
Lambie's Tavern goal of the day. Wilson Mack.
And return of the Mac.
Sounds like a boy band. Wilson Mack's kicked the goal off one step, 45 metres out, used the breeze. Great tap down from Edwards, and he finished it off. Wilson Mack. 2-1-13. Now Bell Park, they lead Geelong West 1 straight 6. Geelong Bank K-Rock first quarter scoreboard.
I just wanted to start singing it then, Return of the Mac, as soon as I said it for some reason. But I know it's not a karaoke show, but that was a terrific goal out of the pack and under all sorts of pressure. Just what the crowd wanted too, just to lift them a little bit, give them something.
Edwards went early. Watts didn't get a hand on it either. The roving done by Lovell, who then kicks out very, very wide for Geelong West towards the wing, looking out there for Eastman, who tracks the footy to the boundary line in front of Gorman, and we'll get a boundary throw in it, right half forward for Geelong West. So back-to-back goals for the Dragons, which they required kicking with this breeze. Need to make the most of it as it heads towards the southern end of the ground. Edwards doing the ruck work. Ball hits the ground. A chance for Barnes to get a handball out the side door, but Gorman will clean up for Bell Park. He'll send a kick towards half forward over the head of Sarcevic, and that is out of bounds on the full. Not for the first time this afternoon. Are you keeping that stat? Recurs higher.
Up to 3, Kingy, already. It's not blowing a hurricane out there, but it is windy.
Brad Wood with the kick towards the wing. Collins went over his head. Handball release was okay, but gee, that's a harsh holding the ball decision. It's going to come back to Fulton, who's won the free kick. The advantage wasn't paid, and Fulton, who kicked the first goal for the Dragons, has won a free kick for his team. In fact, it's Ned Payne, the debutant, and he's now being told to get back behind the mark. Gee, Fulton and Payne actually do. There's some similarities there. Only Fulton's a left footer and Payne's a right footer.
Payne has it.
Hopefully his kick's better than his first one.
Right in the middle, he's going to go back. He kicks it up, holds up in the breeze, but it's okay. And they go across. Centre half back, Gorman takes the mark, brings it across broadcast side to the opposite half back flank. Darcy Brown takes it, goes along the boundary line to Benstead, who takes it, gives it back to Brown, who runs through centre wing now. Left foot kick towards half forward, but behind the ball. West set up well. And mark taken just inside the centre by Ty Evans, who is sporting a little mustachio there as well. The ball comes back out towards centre wing. Sheringham tried to put a bump on, then tried to kick the ball off the ground. Created some space for Sarcevic to go through the middle. That's Charlie. Dangerous kick in the middle. No mark taken from McWaters. He needs to be good here. He needs some support as well. Coming across Wareham in support. Watts comes across as a 2v2. And I think Bell Park will be pretty happy with that result at the end. It's going to be a ball up.
He did all right, the kid, then, because if he had have turned that over, they were out. West, 2v1.
Umpire to put it into the air. Umpire Jones presiding at the moment. Tapped down by Watts. Little trying to barge his way through. Couldn't take the footy. There's a Dragon at the bottom of that pack taking in a tackle. Ball stuck underneath. And I reckon that's going to be holding the ball, and it is. So, free kick paid. Going to go to Barnes. Feigned a handball. Just inside the centre square he is, at the edge of the turf wicket table. Home of the Geelong West Rams. Kick towards right half forward is a well-weighted ball, and the mark taken out there by Eastman, I think it is, with the footy. Or is it Evans? Kick inside forward 50, a high ball. Where's Collins? Where's Welsh? Neither can mark off the hands of the pack. Patton snaps the ball towards half forward. Or half back, I should say. But the Giants have got numbers, although the handball that was intended for Ty Evans went over his head and out of bounds. And fair to say the breeze is playing a little bit of havoc with the skill level here this afternoon.
It certainly is. And there's a clear intent from Bell Park to kick long at every opportunity, but West are a bit smarter than that at the moment. They've got numbers back. There's at least 8v4 behind the ball every time.
Boundary throw in. Tobin running in the ruck, giving Edwards a chop out against Watts, who gets another tap. Now Tobin wrapped up. So the two ruckmen on hands and knees. Ball underneath them, and they hand it back to the umpire for a ball up centre wing on the outer side. Both do battle in the ruck contest. Watts gets it down. Handley just sort of handed it to Little as he ran past. Right on centre wing, right foot kick goes towards centre half forward. Oh, good mark. Plucked it. Hall did nicely. 55 out from goal. Wants to try and move it on quickly. Does so now. Puts it towards the top of the square. Needs, good mark in front. Benstead, Hamlet hanger. Great work from the veteran who wants to switch the play straight away.
That's a great grab from Benstead. He wants Sheringham. Sets him a little bit of a task. He can't complete the mark under pressure. Ball spills. Cossins brought to ground by Sheringham's a good tackle. And it's out of bounds, or is it a ball up? It'll be a ball up, I think. There's a bit of push and shove taking place. We're right next to the boundary line. In fact, it is out of bounds. And the boundary throw. The quality of the mark by Benstead. He's been a very good player for a very long time, the Drysdale product. Ball back into play. The ball hits the ground. Fulton got a handball release away. Tried to put it into the path of Sheringham instead. The Giants will come up with it. Evans, a handball wide. Chance to go forward. Barnes had his kick smothered, but he'll find the loose footy. Handball forward, but he's turned it over in the clearing kick. A high ball to the wing for the Dragons. And Sarcevic in a pack of three, John.
game. Well, I think Bell Park averaged 77 and West averaged 75. So goal's going to be the premium today, and when you can just... Those forward 50 marks are going to be an absolute premium today.
That breeze coming out of the northwest, back in the middle, Welsh winning the tap down, and will release Lovell to Little, who ball that tracked toward the boundary line. Charlie Sarcevic first there. He's helped the boundary line and over by Ballantyne, and a boundary throwing it right up forward. Geelong Sports Medicine, Sunshine Birchie's boundary side this afternoon, but very quiet for you, Birchie, through this first 15 or so minutes or so down there.
Very quiet on the injury front, which is good for both teams, but you can really see the effect of that breeze down here too. It's if they get any height in those kicks, it swirls around and gets affected, but if they keep it low, that's the way to go.
Dragons look to bring it to the broadcast side through Wareham. The mark's taken by Petering, gives a handball off, and now the kick towards half forward, looking for Marnie. Had it knocked away but couldn't mark. First to recover, handball release, a little bit too hot for Mick Waters. A chance now, Merkovic, kick inside forward 50, open goal square. Breeze won't do enough, and it just grazes the behind post on the way through. Well, if it grazes the behind post on the way through, is it out on the full? Or was it on the bouncer that hit it? And it'll be a boundary throw, which is actually not the worst result for the Dragons. I'll get a boundary throwing stoppage.
That's a win.
In the right forward pocket rather than kicking the behind.
I think we saw Merkovic play down back last time we played him, and he might have racked him up. So the move forward for him, he's been pretty lively.
Boundary throw-in, comes to the front of the pack and pushed through for a rush behind to Bell Parker. Was pushed through by Leovold for the Giants. And Bell Park go to 3-3-21. They lead Geelong West 1 straight 6. K-Rock. Geelong banked first quarter scoreboard. The Giants to kick it back in. They go short again, which has been their want in this first term. They go short to Wood for the Giants. He goes towards defensive 50. Kick was better. Symes takes the mark. Looking for somebody to wheel past for handball. He elects to go kicking further over the head of Annan, who's on the ground. His handball, 30-metre handball out in front for Moi to run onto it, close to the boundary line. They've moved the ball nicely. Geelong West inside their forward 50. It's a 3-on-2. Collins, his front and centre was pretty good. In the end, he went up for the mark. He needed some support, though. Bell Park across the back. They might be able to get rid of it. McWater's handball along the line. They work it in the phone box to Patton. He goes towards centre wing. They did very nicely to get it to George, and he's out at centre wing.
Yeah, did well. Good smother by Benstead on the kick as well. The kick back inboard. Oh, Sheringham, wonderful pick up with the one hand, and then turned and kicked quickly. Wanted Sarcevic, who couldn't trap the footy. Was well played by Brad Wood, but he kicked it straight into Edwards coming towards him. Spilled for Ballantyne. Tried to take on Charlie Sarcevic. Handball release. Went looking for Gribble. Gribble couldn't get a handle on it, and now we've got a stoppage situation on the outer side. There was a Dragon at the bottom of that pack who is pulled to his feet, and that's Isaac Wareham. And we'll get a ball up on the outer wing. Tapped down by Edwards. Tanner Lovell, hands on the footy, and then a handball release. Little got it forward one more time to Hanley. Hanley on the outboard, a kick inside forward 50 now for the Giants to about 20 out from goal. Kyannan flew but couldn't complete the mark, but he roved it well. Handball back to a voice. Quick kick inside forward 50, might have been Leovold. Yeah, top of the square, good spoil. Benstead, numbers there for the Dragons. The handball though of Wareham did no favours, and then dumped in the tackle, taken high. Free kick for Bell Park. Might be Wareham, or is in fact Boyer getting to his feet to take the free kick. They hold firm as they have done for most of this quarter. They conceded a goal at the 2-minute mark, and that's the only score they've given up in the last 18 minutes on the K-Rock Geelong Max scoreboard. It's Bell Park 21 leading Geelong West 6.
Boyer goes to Benstead, takes a great mark again. He goes straight down the middle. Fulton takes it. Want to move it quickly. Bell Park. He was trying to wheel around on the left, and he does get there now towards Merkovic at half forward. Got a bit of space and a bit of time. He handballs it backwards. Oh, over the head of Sarcevic. He has to go back and get it. That's Charlie. He's trying to feint a handball. Ballantyne wrapped him up. He got rid of the football in the end. Handball came back. Bell Park working backwards now. Ooh. Gorman goes across, and then they get it towards the middle. Edwards has to tap it away from Moi. His second effort was good on the ground. Moi took a bounce, handballed it outboard towards Ballantyne. Can it sit for him? It does. 65 from goal, kick around the corner. Inside 50. Collins got 3 against him. Benstead, Collins, he'll be happy to wrap it up about 30 out from goal. He does so. And the Giants will be able to reset deep forward. It'll be a ball up.
a bit disappointed with that Bell Park, the way they turned that over very easily and not getting in their forward 50.
Matt Kershaw for the Sporting Globe. Patton and Gorman working together. Now Fulton, a handball on the bounce. A chance now for Charlie Sarcevic. Kicks on his left boot to the wing. Went through the hands there of Dwyer, but cleaned up out the back by Symes. Wood there for Geelong West. Handball release. Symes confronted. Kicked it straight to the man coming towards him in Tobin, and it spilled for Jack Sarcevic. And gave a handball off to Patton. Patton inside 50, and he found Jasper George. Down to the mark, 45 from goal. He comes laterally. Two options. One of those is McWaters, and the Geelong Falcon has got it. 43 from the southern end goal, the Church Street end of the ground.
Have a shot, kid.
You would think with the breeze.
He's a skillful footballer. Seen a bit of him this year, clearly. But, I've liked what I've seen this year from this boy. 6
games, but hasn't kicked a goal with the Falcons, making his 4th appearance of the year at 2 o'clock for Bell Park. He'll kick from right on 50. Gets a good piece of it. Will it work on the breeze? It will, but it will be off hands and through for a minor score. So 3-5-23 now at Bell Park. Make it 3-4-22, I should say. Geelong West 1 straight 6. 22 and 3/4 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
So Lucky Handley kicking in duties for the Giants. Plays on from full back and goes long. Benstead reads it the better. Took the mark uncontested at left half forward for Bell Park. Pretty congested with Giants between him and the goal, though. He needs to go short. He does well, just takes his time. Worm takes the mark. Still 55 from goal. So Fulton gives him a short lead. He's going to call to play on. He goes inside. Marnie presents, takes the mark, and he threaded the needle with the kick. There was plenty of Geelong West Giants just standing there. Toby Marnie at speed just took the mark and will shoot for goal from 35 out, 45-degree angle.
Well, West got numbers back, but they just stood there. They didn't make it hard for the leading forwards, and Marnie just basically let it into the gaps. And he's pretty lively, isn't he, Marnie? He's got good hands. He's a good size. He's a good kick. Got a lot of attributes.
35 out. Comes in now with the breeze, across the breeze. Goal umpire says he's missed it. And he's kicked 1 goal, 2 so far this afternoon for Bell Park. They go to 3-5-23. They lead the Giants 1 straight 6. Geelong Bank, K-Rock. First quarter scoreboard.
Lockie Hanley's short kick in, marked by Evans, who gives a handball back to Lockie Hanley. Under a bit of pressure, kicks towards the half-back flank, tracking it towards the boundary line is Lovell, who then had a fresh area almost with the handball. There's a dragon down in back play. Keep an eye on that. Who's
boy band.
Yeah, it might be Wilson Mack, who's in a little bit of trouble in the kick. Going forward, smothered. It might have been the kick of Evans, and it's out of bounds. Good pressure from the Dragons. Kirsch for the Sporting Globe.
It was. He needs a cricket box, is what happened to him.
Yes, right. Yep.
Yes.
Well, I hope it's not Ollie Henry style.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure, but he's going straight off.
He is. Ball back into play.
Bit of ice.
Tapped down by Watts. A couple of Dragons there. One of those dribble head over the footy. Did he get one high? Umpire didn't see it that way, and now it's holding the ball.
Oh, wow. That was red hot, wasn't it?
Patton quickly takes it and plays on. Kick inside, forward 50. Where's Marnie over his head? Ball out the back. Merkovic first to recover. Likes this situation. Pulled off it surely without the footy umpire, who called play on. Now clearing kick that just taken. Going back with the flight by Little. He got a little shove. He would have got a free kick, you would have thought, for front on contact. He gives a handball off to the man cruising past him in Ty Evans, who sends it wide. Looking out there for Annan. It's a 2-on-1. It's over the head of Gorman, Annan and Benstead, and the law firm that I am represented by sees it out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Yes, we've had a little bit of a table. The wind has got hold of a table in the old Geelong West barbecue setup. For the boundary throw in, Watts is tackled, going nowhere. We'll get another stoppage at the 25.5-minute mark. Bell Park 3-5-23 lead Geelong West 1 straight 6. The margin 17 on the K-Rock Geelong Bank scoreboard.
Edwards in front. Watts gets it down though, rode by Dave Handley. Gives it away by hand. And they get the ball towards Tanner Lovell. Goes towards half forward with the kick. Good mark again, Worm though. And defensively, they're set up pretty well. Bell Park behind the ball. Worm's been very influential in this first quarter, and he takes the mark inside defensive 50. Wants to kick it down the line, does so now. Close to the boundary line. Breeze takes it. At front, Merkovic couldn't take it. Second two grabber. And it falls off hands. And it will be a boundary throw-in. Right on centre wing on the outer side.
Brisbane 33 lead Hawthorn 26 at the MCG for Leopold Sporties. Only AFL game this afternoon.
So a throw in now at West Oval for Watts in front. He doesn't really get it down. Edwards was there as well. Ball spills free. Evans gets it for Geelong West. Gribble around the corner. Tight little kick was okay to the big fella. And Watts takes the mark on centre wing.
Tyler Watts influential this afternoon, as you would expect. Kick to half forward, not a great kick. Hoare had to play spoiler, but the pattern doing the roving at the front for Bell Park. Lost it in the tackle, it's holding the ball. Will advantage be paid to Barnes? If it is, that's disappointing because he's turned it over straight onto the chest of Steve Benstead, who has intercept marked after intercept marked in this opening quarter, and you would think he'll play a role behind the footy where they'll try and get him loose in the second quarter when West kick with the breeze. He kicks with the breeze towards the outer wing. Numbers there, including Evans, over the footy for Geelong West. Diving on him was Wareham. Umpire said, give it to me, we'll ball it up. Have they done enough with the breeze, Bell Park?
No, I think they probably should be 5-3 rather than 3-5 with the 2 set shots they've missed. But just for your info, Kingy, 6 marks to Benstead, 5 intercepted.
Yeah, he's having a wonderful afternoon. Leopold Sporty, sort of player of the day contention, as Little fights for it for Geelong West. Gets a handball up. Might be Leopold involved with a handball. He does. Back to David Hanley. David Hanley jams it on the boot. A bouncing ball to half forward, but Worm took it, and then his handball was a little bit too hot for Reece McWaters over his head, out of bounds, as the sun beats down beautifully on West Oval, but there is some real dark cloud out to the southeast of the Geelong region. No rain expected, but it is fairly threatening.
Short boundary throw in, Edwards. McMahon gets it from the ruck contest. Goes towards centre wing. Geelong West again behind the ball. Comes to Leopold from Gribble. He goes up. Oh! Hamlin Hanger, if you don't mind, from Hoare, who does it all the time. 50 out from goal. He goes quickly. He wants to get a goal before quarter time. The handball comes back. Off a step was Barnes. He's missed it, everything. And, wow, Nick Hoare, he knows how to jump at the ball and did that at 50. But turnover now, Bell Park to taking the last line of defence.
Benstead with it next to the left-hand behind post. He'll bring it broadcast side, looking for a marking target in Marnie, but Lockie Hanley stood tall and took her. He's really good overhead, Lockie Hanley, for a mid-sized defender. Kick inside, forward 50. Collins, his target, no mark. Barnes, front of the pack, wasn't able to break away, and the umpire's going to have no choice but to circle in and say, give it to me and ball it up. About 30 out from the Giants' goal. 1 straight 6. They kicked that at the 2-minute mark through Phil Moy. Play on advantage, but since then 3 goals 5 to the Dragons, giving them a 17-point lead, and that is quarter time here on a Saturday afternoon at West Oval. The Giants 1 straight 6, trailing the visiting Bell Park 3-5-23. We'll take a break. Back shortly. Leopold Sporties around the grounds. The thoughts for the Sporting Globe of Matthew Kershaw, and for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, Jane Birch will go inside one of the huddles and have a chat with one of the respective coaches. Looks like heading towards Bell Park. Old Sporties GFL style, Jace.
Yes, let's do that. St Mary's were playing early against Grovedale, and they are 76. They lead Grovedale 44. South Barwon 15, Lara taking up to them 14, Colac 14, St Albans 6, Leopold 22, North Shore 6, St Joey's in Newtown tomorrow.
In the Bellarine this afternoon, where it is round 10 action.
Yes, round 10, so past the halfway mark in the Bellarine Ocean Grove 31, Newcombe 14, Geelong Amateur 4, Bowen Head 0. Sounds like a soccer score from the BBC. Drysdale 52, Port Arlington 1, ouch. Torquay 31, Mottawarri 18. And Anglesea, Queenscliff, no score.
And wind to be playing some havoc down there on the coastal teams, wouldn't it?
Well, that breeze would be going at Drysdale. Hopefully have kicked with the howling gale down to the Geelong end of the ground at Port Arlington. Hawthorn 33, Brisbane 33. Kirsch, what did you make of that opening quarter, thanks to the Sporting Globe?
Well, obviously the breeze is playing a fair part of this with a couple of goal advantage. What's that, 23 points? We're probably going to say it's a 3. Well, got into their forward 50 that they wasted at times. As we mentioned in the call, 3-5, probably should have been 5-3 to make that score really worth it and put some pressure back on West. West played with a +2 that quarter for most of the quarter, so it'd be interesting to see whether Bell Park play that tactics as well. Boys down there have got hands, so I reckon they're probably going to try and kick more into their forward half this quarter.
Jane Birch, down to you, Geelong Sports Medicine Centre.
I'll just see if I can catch Sakes. He's trotted off.
Birchie's just being made to tick the legs over. They're just recovering from the hockey last week.
Just quickly, head-to-head, Handley and Patton's been a bit. 2 clearances each, so they're neck and neck.
The Geelong Insurance Brokers. Birchie might have lost the...
Stuck upstairs. They're going for the coaching.
When he was on tour, he wasn't actually able to connect with the songs he had been. Success, but in the inheritance of God, giving it. And something clicked with Jordan. It was a real God moment, and he remembered that his future is.
Purcell for Bell Park, handballs it out towards Worm. He gets it further afield. They handball it back towards Purcell, who followed up at defensive 50. It's a good kick too. Finds the big ruckman in Edwards. Back end of centre wing called to play on. His handball was just hitting the target. They go at Sheringham's handball was unbelievable to Worm underneath. He goes inside 50 with the kick from behind. Marnie tried to defensively tap it away. West at the back, ball spills free. The boy band again back. And he's missed. Wilson Mack is missed to the far side. 1 goal, 1. His personal tally, 3-6-24 now, Bell Park, Geelong West. 2-1-13, Harvey Norman, K-Rock. Second quarter scoreboard.
They're lively, the 21 and 22 down there.
They are.
Good to watch. Nice little combination.
They are.
Dwyer to bring the ball back into play for the Giants. David Handley presents short. He'll get given the hurry up here by the umpire, and he has been given that hurry up now. And he'll send it towards the outer side. What's his get out? It's Tyler Watts. It will go through his hands and roll towards the boundary line. Kept alive by Charlie Sarcevic, but not long enough because he's dragged to ground by Kai Anand and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Brisbane have pulled away 8-3-51 to 5-4-34 around the grounds for Leopold Sporties. AFL round 13 action. Boundary throw-in is a shallow throw-in, and it favours Watts, who is quickest to react. Ball's knocked away, though, into the path of Sarcevic, and that is Charlie who's taken high. And the Sarcevics have actually had a little bit of an influence on that outer side this afternoon. A handball off to Fulton. He'll drive a long ball into the breeze, inside forward 50. Back with the flight. Merkovic with the one hand couldn't take it. Jasper George was there, but happy to see it out of bounds. Knocking it out of play is Angus Codden in the right forward pocket at the northern end of the ground. Bell Park in attack, leading by 11 points. We'll get a boundary throw-in. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock showing 7 1/4 minutes played.
So throw in Marnie to the ruck work for Bell Park deep forward. Up against Watts. They hold on to each other. Both get a hand to it over the back. Through the middle, Patton, left foot kick, scrambling towards the goal. But Goalkeeping, Geelong West. Dangerous kick. Oh, Watts dropped the mark he should have taken. And ball spills free somehow to Brad Wood. He gets the handball further afield to Evans. Runs through defensive 50 for Geelong West. Outside of the right boot. But reading it the better was Darcy Brown for Bell Park on centre wing, and switches the ball back inboard to Fulton. Wants to get on that left. Oh, over the head of Ben Worm. Ball in dispute. Valentine couldn't pick it up though, and Bell Park with the numbers. Worm followed it up. Tumbling punt inside 50. Over the back, Marnie. Handball up to Sarcevic. Left foot kick. Open goal square. And did very well, Jack Sarcevic, to finish that play for Bell Park. And he kicks his first of the afternoon. And good reward for the visitors after some sustained pressure deep forward. He kicks his first, and it is the fourth for Bell Park this afternoon. And they go to 4-6-30. They lead Geelong West 2-1-13. Harvey Norman K-Rock's second quarter scoreboard.
I know we've mentioned it a few times about the cleanliness and how clean you've got to be in circumstances, and Ballantyne just read it well. He just fumbled at that wrong time and turned the ball over on that wing.
He's running away to kick a goal.
He was away, and I tell you what, if he had got through, he would be away because no one will catch him on that outer wing, on the inner wing. But he didn't. He dropped it, and they got a goal. So very clever play. And we just spoke about how much Sarcevic's got an influence on this game, and there was another one.
All things are right with the world when Sarcevic's kicking goals for Bell Park, isn't it?
We've all seen that a lot in a day.
Yeah, and we're still seeing it. It's great to see Jack and Charlie out there as we've got a ball up after the return to the centre, just towards the edge of the centre square on the outer wing. Grabbed out of the ruck by Edwards. He just worked his opponent off the footy. Now he sends it inside forward 50, a bouncing ball that Jack Sarcevic can't take cleanly, and the clearing kick comes. Might have been Evans sending it to half back, but it'll come back because Wareham will give a handball off to Charlie Sarcevic. Will kick inside forward 50, flying Merkovic. He caught one high, I reckon, and he'll get a free kick either high or an arm chop. And a chance for another one into the breeze, which goals into the breeze could be like gold this afternoon for both teams.
Absolutely gold.
Push the margin out to a game-high lead. A score of either a behind or goal will do that. It's at 17 points as it was at quarter time. Merkovic has been lively. Kicked 3 last week against South Barwon from 23 touches and finding a bit of the footy so far this afternoon, the young Dragon. Former Geelong Falcon shot at goal, and he's just missed to the left through to his near side. And the margin is a game high 18 points. Have had some opportunities. 4-7-31. Geelong West 2-1-13. 10 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel to the footy.
So Lockie Handley with the kicking in duties this time for the Giants. Decides to come broadcast side. Plays on. Goes wide. Looking for Noah Gribble. Takes the mark under pressure from Lockie Patton. Plays on quickly. Wants to get back on his right. Great smother by the skipper from Bell Park. And they go to him as they should. Great smother out of bounds for a boundary throw in at left half forward for the visitors. So great play. Inspirational play by the skipper. He's going to do some roving work at the front here. Possibly Little. He picks it up. Gets the handball back inboard again. Another smother. This time from Mick Waters. And another boundary throw in for Bell Park at left half forward. They lead 4-7-31. The Giants 2-1-13. Harvey Norman K-Rock's second quarter scoreboard.
Game being played on the Dragons' terms, Kirsch.
Absolutely it is, and this is exactly the way they want it. They've got that +1 behind the ball. They've got numbers. They're set up well. They look organised.
Oh, that tackle now. Is that holding the ball? It is. It was just a strong tackle. Sometimes you wonder what's going to be paid as Moy dragged McMahon to ground. He might have moved up onto the footies. He goes short to Welsh, who marks, but a long way from home. Gives it back to Moy. Looks to burst away. A floater inside forward 50. It gets away from Darcy Brown. Bounces into the path of Wareham, who got one high. And he'll take the free kick as Cayenne and just got a little bit over the top.
So they look a lot better with Wareham. He's the +1 at the moment. They've paired off and he's the +1, and they've looked really, really good when he's the +1.
Across the face of his defensive goal to Benstead, who's been a model citizen this afternoon. Right back pocket, driving ball to the only premiership player out there in Sheringham on the juggle. Took the mark and then kicked quickly on his left boot to a one-on-one. Merkovic front position. Couldn't complete the mark. It was good defensive play, bringing it to ground by, it might have been Evans down there. In fact, it was Codd, and we will get a ball up. Right half forward, Dragons in attack and in control.
Tobin in the ruck contest. Welsh gets it down for Geelong West. Goes wide. Saw Giovanni picks it up for Geelong West around the corner with the kick, but The mark was taken by Gorman. The handball wasn't crash hot though. And now Geelong West with a chance on centre wing to go with the kick towards Ballantyne. Does it sit for him? It does. The left foot kick around the corner. Inside 50, Watts running back with it. Benstead kept his feet. Then he's on hands and knees. He needs to get the handball away and does. And free kick over the shoulder, I think. It's going to be a Bell Park free kick, and it's going to come back to Jackson Gorman, who plays on quickly, gives it away, and they go in the middle. Bell Park just want to settle the play down. McMahon at the back end of the centre square. Goes lateral. George takes the mark, plays on. Wants to go to centre wing. A lot of space out there. Big thump away, though. McWaters was just a bit deep there for the kick. Held up in the breeze, and it was tapped away by Gribble. And we're going to have a boundary throw in centre wing broadcast side.
They're certainly handling the conditions a bit better, Bell Park, because they're lowering their eyes, doing the short chip kick on the 45 going into the breeze, and they kick longer with the breeze. So they're adjusting probably better than West at the moment.
Boundary throw in. Front position, Welsh knocked away from behind though by Tobin doing some ruck work. Front of the pack, Little, a handball off, and the kick around the corner. And the mark down low was good from Moy as the kick came from, I think, Evans. And now Moy sees something he likes at half forward. It's Collins, used the body, got rid of Boyer, but did so illegally and gave away a free kick. Will advantage be paid? No, it's going to come back as Cade Petering was about to take off, but he was forward of the footy, and surely the umpire was going to pull that back into the end. Petering sort of thought so. He stopped and conceding some ground. Boyer with a kick back to Wareham, almost to his defensive goal square. Wants the corridor, and Fulton, who's been lively through the first quarter and a half, has marked, but still inside defensive 50. But they got control of the footy, Bell Park, as they maintain an 18-point buffer. Brings it broadcast side, a high ball. Plenty of numbers, big fly. Jasper George got up but couldn't hang on to it. Front of the pack. The ball is locked up, and we will get a ball up. It's Riley Welsh last to his feet, and he'll go straight into the ruck contest against the very undersized Tobin, who's doing some work at the moment. So Welsh easily won the tap down to Little. Little from a standing start, a high ball that floats to a half forward. Collins underneath it, surely taken high. Win a free kick, advantage paid. Moy, Gribble over the top. David Hanley on hands and knees. Lovell one way, then the next handball taken on the bounce. Moy, quick snap, hit the post just above the padding.
Free kick, I think.
It might come back. Is it too high?
Yep. In the tackle.
So he was taken high in the tackle, maybe of Darcy Brown.
Yeah.
And Moy, who kicked the first of the contest, a chance to kick his second and pull the margin back to 12 points. They've put the behind on the scoreboard. They'll have to take that off.
Couldn't have flushed the kick anymore on the goalpost either, could he? It was a smack bang right in the middle of it.
Yeah, left a cherry mark.
Yeah.
Kick 3 last week against Leopold. It's got 17 for the season after kicking the first of the contest here in the very weight-restrictive number 48 jumper. But right behind this, kick best seats in the house, win free coffee for a year at APCO Cafe 24/7. Man on the mark, about 18 from goal. Moy right forward pocket. Should really have no issues with this one, and doesn't. Kicks a goal. He's got 2. Comes the first multiple goal kicker of the contest. And the Giants have got their third. They're 3-1-19, but they do trail by 12 points. Bell Park 4-7-31 on the K-Rock. Second quarter, Harvey Norman scoreboard. Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds. Furniture, electrical, bedding, computers, you name it, they've got it. They are Geelong's biggest brands at Geelong's at best prices.
Well, they defended the exit 50 a little bit better there, West, and then they kept it in their forward half. And, yeah, look, a couple of free kicks, fortunate enough, but at least they're getting the ball going forward and a bit of momentum, and now they're only 2 kicks behind.
Back to the middle, Tobin up against Welsh. Welsh gets it down, free kick found. Umpire said a hold. And is it going to David Hanley in the middle? It is. McMahon gave away the free kick, so Geelong West with a chance from the middle. Right foot kick deep towards Anand over his head. Needs some support. Got some from Eastman. Wheels back around on the right to Anand. Whoa, that was 14 metres. And he got the mark. It was very close to play on, but the big fella has taken the mark. Anand will shoot for goal from 40 out, 45-degree angle at the Church Street end of the ground.
Yeah, well, 4 scoring shots to 11. That 3-5 in the first quarter is probably just going to bite a little bit in the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes.
So Kai Anand coming in for goal off a couple of steps. He was never going to kick it 35 metres well like that. Oh, goes up, doesn't take the mark. And we're just going to check Kirsch to make sure he's okay.
That's what we like to see. That's what we come to the footy for, isn't it? See these high flyers. And
I've never seen him take a chest mark, Nick Hall.
No, he doesn't need to when he's get up like that.
Take them nice and high. Boring. Ball up right forward pocket for Geelong West. Into attack. Adden goes up, gets it down. Moi. He can't take it. Pack develops, played for a free kick, didn't get one. Bell Park try and get the clearing kick away. They sort of do now towards defensive 50. George doesn't take it with him, no. Handball. Gribble, right foot kick, tried to use the breeze, but it hasn't come back far enough. Right over the top of the behind post, but through for one behind. So let's hope for Geelong West's sake they win by a point. 3-2-20. They trail Bell Park 4-7-31. Harvey Norman K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
Didn't we have one last year, Grovedale?
Yes, we did too. We were right behind that one as well, weren't we? Daniel Fraser was none too pleased.
Long ball in is a good kick. Wareham in the mark taken there by Ned Payne, who I've liked the look of. He's got Sheringham working out the back for him, but the kick didn't have enough carry on it. The Giants got numbers backing, including Hanley, who have got some support from Leovold. Now kick short and taken by Welsh. Went to give the handball off, decided not to, and Welsh, who doesn't mind flying himself, went short onto the chest of Eastman, the veteran. Game 159 for Paddy Eastman. Good to see him back after not playing last year. He goes short to Tanner Lovell. Lovell will concede a bit of ground back, and they'll look to build from half back. The kick is okay, and they'll send it to the wing in front of Gribble, who can't keep it alive on the boundary line, and it's out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Well, it's just an injury update. Matthew Sorgiovanni just came off. It looked like he'd had a bit of an impact to the side of his right knee, so he was hobbling off, but it doesn't look too serious, so they'll obviously assess that.
Awesome, John God. We'll keep an eye on that injury update. Thank you for that, Birchie.
The ball from the contest goes to the front from Patton, who goes inside 50. Good mark, though. Ty Evans just stood in the middle of the pack and took it for Geelong West. Goes out wide, finds a Lovell. He comes back inboard, David Handley. So at half back for Geelong West. Goes inboard. Barnes gives the handball away. Evans runs past. They work it forward to 50. The ball, bowled straight through the Bell Park defence. That was Worm who couldn't take it. Wareham, he falls over at the crucial stage. In fact, it was Brown as well. So Geelong West might have a chance. They're inside 50. Worm comes back to help out again for Bell Park. Ball missed Fulton on the out. Moi through the middle. Gets around, slips over at the crucial stage. Back to Little. He dropped the footy as well. Under pressure. Kick was smothered. Great play, Bell Park. They kept it. Patton was there. They push it all the way back towards the centre circle over the shoulder. Free kick, sling tackle. And a free kick to Geelong West. And the free kick's going to come to Jaden Symes.
Just in back play, I reckon Ty Evans in a little bit of trouble. Just keep an eye on that for us, Birchie, for St John of God. He's been on his haunches for a little while. He might have caught one right in the solar plexus. Symes to send it inside forward 50 for the Giants. All over the top of Collins. Big defensive mark taken. Brown. In fact, it was Boyer. Boyer now kick to the wing, and it's a well-weighted kick that Wilson Mack has marked. He's just taken it in front of our broadcast position. He sends it looking for Sarcevic. Too much hang on the kick. Symes has spoiled. Little involved. Gribble, a handball, a real hot one that sold a teammate up the river who tried to fire a handball out the front of the pack. And at centre wing, we're going to get a ball up, I suspect, as the umpire circles. Holding the ball's a decision. Gee, they've been hot on that this afternoon.
Oh, boy.
And the free kick going against Cade Petering, who's got question to ask. Well, look, we're not as close, and we've got to know whether the player's actually making a legitimate attempt to try and get the footy moving. Kick towards half forward. Kai Anand in front, off the hands of the pack. Moi slipped over as he was about to change direction. Got it out into the path of Lovell. Tucked it under the arm, ran away and missed to the right. From about 15 out, missed opportunity. And the margin is 10 to the good of Bell Park. 4-7-31. Geelong West 3-3-21. 21 and a half minutes played. Port Phillip Ferry's second quarter time clock.
That's Moi's third time he slipped.
He
coming
needs longer
back.
stops, doesn't he?
Yeah, coming back into play. I know they don't use long stops anymore, but he might have the sneakers on rather than all the grass cats rather than the Mouldens.
The grass cats.
Wareham kicks it in for Bell Park to the outer side, but Tyler Watts takes the mark in the pack. Good play for Geelong West. Short to Lovell, who's starting to have an influence. Cross 50, measures the pass. They go across the 50-metre arc. Geelong West to Gribble, who takes the mark. Wants to move it towards Collins. No, he just holds it up. Moi was short as well. Noah Gribble will shoot from just outside 50. There's going to be a fair kick for the wingman. He's going back in front of us in the best seats in the house thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. He's going to roll in on that right foot. Comes in now. Called to play on as he goes with the right foot. Puts it to the top of the square. Big pack there. Where's Nick Hoare? Through the middle, Fulton. Edwards tapped it straight to the arms of Brad Wood, if you don't mind, who was standing there.
Dear.
Just go, there's my present for the day. Guy Edwards was trying to tap it through for a rush behind.
Well.
And he couldn't do it effectively. And Brad Wood was going, I'm from defence and I might just kick a goal, and he does.
Tell you what, I'm going to gift wrap it and put a little bow on it for you.
And unwrap it for you as well and give it to you. He kicks the goal. So 4-3-27 Geelong West, Bell Park 4-7-31. Harvey Norman K-Rock second quarter scoreboard.
I don't think you'll want to watch that replay. That's for sure.
There was intent, it just didn't work.
Yeah, there's intent and there's execution.
Yeah, that's
Jason.
right. Wow.
Yeah, you won't get any easier goal than that in football.
Back in the
At
middle.
this level anyway.
No clear winner of the ruck contest. Fulton took the bouncing ball for Bell Park and then was wrapped up by Watts, and just forward to the centre circles will go again. So handy goal as we get towards half time. They won't be long quarters based on the scoring. Fulton does the roving, but he's kick smothered by Moy. The ball deflected towards the outer wing. Surely a free kick, not paid there to the Dragons, to McWaters, and they're going to go forward here. Here's Little lowering the eyes and sending it inside 50, but the kick on the breeze floats out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will be taken by Boyer for Bell Park in the right back pocket. Long way from home, kicking into the breeze. Conceded 3 goals, but kicked one themselves, so a 17-point lead is now back to 4 points. Boyer, a left footer to half back. Not a great kick mark taken by Lovell, as we said, exerting himself in this second quarter. He goes short, and Collins on the lead is marked about 35, make it 40 directly in front, and a chance for the Giants to take the lead back for the first time since the 6-minute mark of the opening term, Kirsch.
Well, it was 8v6 in favour of Bell Park numbers behind the ball. They were actually in their defensive probably 40, and they still got one in clear space on the lead. So it's going to be a little bit defensively better and not fall asleep at the wheel every time the ball enters their defensive 50.
Collins will kick from about 45, sets it up. It seems to hold with the breeze, and Annan has marked right next to the goalpost. So the Bell Park defence might have got caught napping a little bit there, thinking that Collins with the breeze should kick the goal or get the distance at least. He didn't. Annan used his height, stretched mark, took a nice mark, and now we'll go on the J curve with the left foot to give the Giants the lead. The Ocean Grove product steps out, snaps, and never looked like it. Was always skinny, and it's through for a minor score, and the margin is 3. Geelong West 4-4-28. Bell Park 4-7-31. Second quarter. K-Rock action thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
He never looked confident at all, did he, the big fella?
No.
No.
That's why he wanted to sort of play on pretty quickly,
Correct.
I think, and get it round, but the umpire wasn't having any of that. No. So Worm from fullback for Bell Park. Long as far as he can go towards half-back Edwards, over the back of the pack. West with the numbers. They handball it forward. And looking for Wood. Patton in the middle, wrapped up by 2 Giants. Did he try and get away? The umpire says no, he didn't. And it will be a ball up. Left half forward for Bell Park. Sorry for Geelong West out there. We're into attack in late stages of this second term. Edwards and Watts. Watts, beautiful tap down towards Lovell again. Inside 50, tumbling punt. Collins pushed Boyer out of the contest. Benstead across the back. Wrapped up by Moy. It's a good tackle. The umpire says held in. And we've seen worse.
That's worse than I've seen.
That should have been paid.
Yeah, well, he tried to take him on.
He did try and take them on. Ball up, 40 out from the Giants' goal.
Into the air. Tap down by Watts. And fighting for the footy, Payne and David Hanley in a wrestle for the ball. It's a stoppage again, as the umpire says, give it to me. Tap down Edwards, roving by David Hanley. A handball out the side door. Gribble was involved. Leovold, a handball back. A chance now to go forward through Lockie Hanley. Just broke the lines a little bit. Now went looking for Moy. Couldn't mark, hands of the pack. Watched the unlikely rover. Dragged to ground Brown and Benstead, ensuring he's going nowhere. And 20 out from the Giants' goal. A ball up. They trail by 3. They've eaten into this margin that was 17 at quarter time.
Chance to take the lead at half time if they can get it from here. 30 out from goal. Ball up. Poor. Just indiscriminate really against Edwards. And it's going to be a free kick. Edwards taking his time to get up to the big fella. He can't. He's on his haunches. And he gets up now with he's already had a calf that looks strapped, so
I think he's really hurt himself here because he's looking to the bench.
He's in a bit of pain, so that's going to affect the ruck stocks as well for Bell Park. They go short. The kick
He's no good.
came to Benstead. He's going to have to come off, so we'll keep an eye on that injury update. Thanks to St John. Guy Birchie will be all over that at half-time. Now ball short, defensive 50. And mark taken by Worm. Just want to hold the play up now. I think Bell Park close to siren time. Called to play on. And he's going to go. Oh, he has kicked that well up the chimney off the right side of his right boot. And would you believe...
It's going to be effective, Jace.
Found a target.
It's effective.
Would you believe? That's the worst kick I've seen deliberately for a long time. The ball comes back inboard. Jackson Gorman across half-back for Bell Park. They are just sucking up the minutes here now, the visitors.
Right half-back, Gorman will flirt with the boundary line on the outer side. Numbers there, including Marnie and Mack flying for Bell Park. It's off hands, out of bounds, boundary throw-in. It's really dark out to the east, but we don't expect any rain, especially with the breeze pushing from out of the northwest. Back into play. Watts winning the tap down. The roving done at the front of the pack by Payne, but his handball, he turned it straight over to Watts, who went up the chimney with the kick. Now there's going to be a free kick, a whistle on play for a hold. And it's going to go to Geelong West, and they might get a last roll of the dice here. And the free kick will go to Ballantyne. He'll take it just forward of the wing. But an option short, but decides to ignore that. Runs away from the man on the mark and then sends it long to about 20 from goal. Out the back, Kyannon got a hand on it but couldn't mark. And then when he tried to actually tap it back into play, he knocked it back into his own boot and it ricocheted out of bounds on the full, as called by Matty Kershaw in the expert chair for the Sporting Globe.
We've hit double figures, Kingy.
Yeah, that's one of the more unique out on the fulls that you'll ever see.
A bit of Benny Hill music going on here, I think.
I think there is. The pattern with the clearing kick. He got good distance to half back. Lockie Hanley flew. That was indiscriminate, but the umpire didn't see there being anything wrong with it, and the mark's been paid. Yeah, there might be Leovold with the
Cod.
Cod with the footy. It is. Cod from about to about 30 metres out, over the head of Moi. Ball out the back, chance to clear. Boyer under pressure, dragged down as he kicked. It'll roll towards the boundary line, and half-time cannot come quick enough.
Absolutely.
For players and commentators alike.
Give us a rest, please.
Because this is... back the lead for the first time since the 6-minute mark of the opening term. Big one last week against Leopold. He would have been in the vote, you would suspect, with 35 possessions and 11 tackles. This for a goal and a Giants lead on the halftime siren, and he delivers. So they did well, Bell Park, to hold firm, and then a free kick on the halftime siren sees them concede the lead, and Geelong West go in with a slight advantage at the main break. They lead now 5-4-34 to 4-7-31. Let's go down boundary side shortly. Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Jane Birch will try and get one of the Geelong West players as they come from the field. Birchie, who trying to extract from down on ground level. I think you've got Tanner Lovell standing beside you. Down to you and Tanner.
Well, Tanner, it seemed to be all on Bell Park's terms that the first quarter, and then 5 minutes into the second quarter, and then it was all going your way after that. So you must have been pleased the way the teams hit back, and a lot of options going forward. It looked a lot more lively.
Yeah, it was a pretty strong breeze, so going into it's pretty tough. It just gets stuck in that dead pocket. So that's probably what happened to Bell Park. So first quarter they had the wind, and we just couldn't work it up. But then once we got the wind, started to get out the back, and started to play our own way, which is good. Yeah,
I was going to ask you about the wind and how much effect you thought that had. So clearly it's playing a part down there. So you guys will have to use it wisely when you're going against it next quarter. Yeah, definitely. It's pretty strong going to the boundary side too. So just sort of get stuck in that dead pocket. So yeah, definitely just try and score into it, because then that'll put us in good stead for the last quarter. Good luck for the second half. Well done.
Thanks, Birchie. Talking to Tanner Lovell, thanks to Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, your ultimate destination for health, fitness and recovery. It's half-time here at West Oval on a Saturday afternoon, thanks to our good friends at Garmy Chicken and Beer. Think Garmy Chicken for So 9 points of difference now. So they are loitering with intent. Are the Hawks?
They are.
GFL round. Oh, now let's wait for them scores. Now I reckon the final score will nearly not be too far away from St Mary's with them leading Grovedale, Jace.
They're 127. They lead Grovedale 70. So a good win there. And just looking through, Leopold going well against North Shore 69-18. Colac 52, leading St Albans 14. South Barwon 41, lead Lara 21. And St Joey's in Newtown tomorrow. And in the Ballerine Footy League, we know Ammos are down against Barwon Heads. Ocean Grove 69, Newcombe 28. Drysdale 85, Port Arlington 3. Torquay 33, Mottawarri 31. No score, Anglesea, Queenscliff.
Well, the update we got was Queenscliff 52 to 31 or something like that over Anglesea. So Heath Jamison will keep us around those scores. Leopold Sporties, your complete family venue, Kensington Road in Leopold.
Watching his other old club. Yes, Jamo.
Wearing 1A flag.
1A flag, yes.
And then Tommy Lim said, thanks very much. I'll take a couple more off you. Jane Birch is down boundary side, Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Birchie.
They're a little bit tight-lipped down here, but I was loitering around the Bell Park rooms, and I did hear Mr. Riccardi say to James Saker that Tobin might have to take the reins. So it looks like that
Kai Edwards isn't
Kai Edwards, he hasn't come back out with them, and he hasn't emerged from the rooms at all. So that's not looking good.
All right, thank you, Birchie. Great work by you for St John of God. We put you first. Myer Street in Geelong injury updates this afternoon. But that's a massive blow. It completely changes their complexion. They're already obviously James Worm missing this afternoon. Now you're missing Edwards, and you're looking at a Tobin who'd be, 6'1" at best.
I coach footy with Will, and it's his worst nightmare having to play in the ruck. Would you believe? He does it because he has to.
I could imagine.
But
when you're not a ruckman,
this is going to be good.
And if you've got players like Symes and Watts and
you put Toby Marnie in there. Put Toby Marnie in there.
Well, and that's the other thing. You've now got to rob Peter to pay Paul. You've been competitive up forward with Wilson Mack and Toby Marnie. You take one of them out, it changes your forward structure with the breeze. Maybe in the last quarter you can look at it, but you need to kick a score this quarter, and I don't think taking a forward out of that structure would help. Maybe a defender, but again, you're playing someone in the ruck who doesn't necessarily know how to play the ruck role.
Hawthorn to within 3 points for Leopold Sporties at the MCG. 21-20 played in the third quarter, so plenty of action left in that one.
All scoring shots too, Kingy.
Yeah, 9-6 to 10-3.
Tobin is starting in the ruck for Bell Park.
Yeah, interesting.
Big ask for him.
Massive. I mean, I hope he goes well and is really competitive, but it is a big ask, and that's where it's really important that the midfielders really just play man on man here and don't let any easy exits out. They're not going to get first look at it.
Third quarter will be thanks to Geelong Bank, Jerringham Street, Geelong. Check out geelongbank.com.au for more details on their 1-2 home loan. That's 1% less for 2 years. Just waiting for the last spectators who've been on the field at half-time to make their way from this historic venue. Umpire holds the ball aloft, and third quarter is underway here at West Oval. And here is Jason Doherty.
Tyler Watts and Will Tobin in the ruck for the start of the third term. And Tobin does okay and gets a hand to it through the middle. Handley puts the tackle on to Lockie Patton, who is not going anywhere. The umpire will come in for a secondary bounce. And he throws it in the air. Watts gets it down this time. Little's handball back to Handley off a standing start. Right foot kick inside 50 is good for distance. Worm probably should have taken the mark in the end. His second effort was pretty good though. He goes across half back. Dangerous kick. Floating in from the side. Noah Gribble takes the mark. 60 from goal. Called to play on. Keeps the ball low. Spears it in. 25 out. Great kick and finds Nick Orr. And he'll have a set shot for goal for the Giants to increase their lead.
Well, this is exactly a mirror image of the first quarter where they started well, got the ball out of the middle, lowered their eyes into the forward line, and, the first quarter they got a free kick, but they still hit a target on the lead and repeat sort of entry.
So Nick Hall comes in, 25 out, and he has sprayed it well and truly to the left and through for one behind. So 1-1, his personal tally, 5-5. 35 Geelong West. They lead Bell Park 4-7-31. Geelong Bank K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard.
We're him to bring the ball back into play. You'd love somebody to launch one just up the middle.
Yeah, get on big torp.
Yeah.
Zach Tui style.
You'll bring it broadcast side. You'll set it up. Fulton, and Tobin is marking targets. It's fisted away from behind by Watts. Numbers at the front, including Worm, who gave a handball to Fulton, who wants to swing back onto his left boot, but goes back by hand to Wareham. Wareham from inside defensive 50 to the wing. Wilson Mack with the one hand couldn't complete the mark. He was able to fight for the footy and force a spillage into the path of Sarcevic. That was Jack. Handball release, though, ended up in the hands of David Hanley. Kick of Evans was smothered. Fell for Jack Sarcevic, who will then just check the kick and going back with the flight. George with the headband has taken the mark. He's got Merkovic over the top. He could have gone to him, but you would have to say when the man on the mark's 35 from goal and you're kicking with the breeze, that somebody with Jasper George's ability should be able to go back and have a shot.
Sarcevic really clever, then lowered his eyes. Probably could have blazed away, 55 out, but really clever, lowered the eyes.
Is to take back the lead, and they need to get a little bit of a buffer, you would suspect, when they'll kick into the breeze in the last quarter. From 40 metres out, on its way, and he finished it no problem whatsoever. Straight over the goal umpire, who now signals 2 fingers, and that says a goal. And Bell Park back in front by 2 there, 5-7-37, Geelong West 5-5-35. Second quarter, K-Rock, or third quarter I should say, K-Rock, Geelong Bank scoreboard. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
West trying to exit then. I did say at the halftime break as to who's going to be cleaner and better with the ball in hand, and they just, a sloppy kick. They were going to go in the corridor, got smothered, and then gave Bell Park a chance with Sarcevic, as mentioned, lowering the eyes going forward. So, again, it's just going to come down to cleanliness with ball in hand.
Hawthorn now lead by 4 at the MCG as we approach three-quarter time.
Tobin got the ruck contest down towards McMahon through the middle. George, handball on the outboard, back to him now. The 1-2. Jasper George inside 50 with the kick. No mark taken. Sarcevic front and centre was good. Oh, then he dropped the ball in the tackle. The umpire said play on Gribble. His handball, Merkovic, good pressure for Bell Park. Ball spills free again. George, he dives on the footy. Might be in trouble. The umpire says, he's pretty lucky in the end because Noah Gribble ended up on the bottom. Got underneath him, and it will be a ball up 35 out from the Bell Park goal.
Sarcevic shouldn't have taken that off the hands of the pack, so I reckon Marnie might have got it on the second bite. Anyway, out the side door.
That's a throw.
It is a throw by Wilson Mack, and the umpire has seen it that way. Well picked up by Jason Doherty. And the free kick will go to David Hanley, going with some good defensive work. He sees Jamison Ballantyne all alone at right half back, and he marks in the sunshine on the outer side. Tucks it under the arm with one bounce and bursts away from Jack Sarcevic. He's kicked, though, too much carry on it. Well judged by Steve Benstead, who goes laterally to Wareham, marks at centre half back between the 50-metre arc and the edge of the centre square. Called to play on, so he goes short. He's turned it over straight into the waiting arms of Hoare, who takes off with a bounce, runs to half forward, and then steps inside a man. Handball 1-2 with Collins. Back to Hoare. Wants to Lammy's tavern. Wonderful tackle, Darcy Brown. He bit off a bit more than he could chew. Did Nick Hoare, and Darcy Brown wrapped him up, gobbled him up Pac-Man style, and wins a free kick for holding the ball. And that would have been some sort of goal that we will never see. As Brown went short to Wareham across the face of goal, and they'll get out of trouble to half back to Jackson Sheringham, who marks.
I don't mind it, though. Like, he's taken the game on. Against the breeze.
It would have been the Lammy's Tavern goal of the year. Don't worry about that.
Ever since we've been going.
Sheringham goes wide to George, who's had a good start to this third term. Back in board. Oh, cut it off, though, and standing was Payne. Handley stood there for Geelong West and took the mark. Plays on now, back inside 50, going up. Oh, good mark. Hamlin Hanger in front. Great mark at the back by Brown. He was just able to stand there and take the mark.
He's having a moment.
In fact, it might be Wareham, actually, who's taken the mark, and he goes laterally. They try and bring it broadcast side. High kick into the breeze. Going to sit up for Payne in front. Did pretty well to bring it to ground. A high tackle, I think, coming back. McWaters for Bell Park will take the free kick.
Yeah, you're right the first time, Jason. It was Darcy Brown.
It was Darcy Brown. So great mark by him. And now McWaters has got the free kick at half back for Bell Park. Chance to, he's just going to go laterally back into the back pocket. They're going to try and move it around. Now Wareham. Oh, dangerous kick. Moy plays on from the pocket. Has kicked it across the face of goal and has actually put it out of bounds. It hasn't gone on the full. It's held up in the breeze. Left forward pocket will have a boundary throw in.
Hawthorn by 10 points at the MCG.
Gee whiz. They kicking with the wind?
They must be kicking home the breeze. Yep. No, it's only third quarter.
Late in the third. Yeah. Let's not get too excited. Boundary throwing. Tap down. One by Welsh against Tobin, but he tapped it straight into the waiting arms of a Dragon. On hands and knees is Payne, and he was wrapped up and we'll get a stoppage about 25 out from goal. Ruckwork Collins, it might have been. Handball wide. Purcell involved. Now trouble as a quick kick came out of the pack towards the goal square for the Giants. Whistle goes. Might be play on advantage. Worm to clear. He sees Charlie Sarcevic, who had to be strong but wasn't enough, with Evans providing a good spoil to knock it out of bounds. Boundary thrown. Giants won't mind this. 6 3/4 minutes in. They've kept Bell Park to just the one goal through that first 6 3/4 minutes. The margin is 2. The Dragons 37, Geelong West 35 in this third quarter, thanks to Geelong Bank.
Tobin and Watts. Watts in front, got it down to Little. Thought about the kick, got the handball instead forward. Doesn't sit for anybody really. Coming across the back, Bell Park, Bell Benstead. Handballed into the back of Payne, who doesn't take the footy with him. Watts up the chimney. Umpire says play on. Ball spills free. Handball comes out. Parker's across half back, got a loose man, going to be able to move it through Gorman. Handball back in board. They can chain of handballs now. Wareham on the outside. Sarcevic had to sit and wait for it. Left foot kick around the corner, turned it over. Symes taking the mark at half back for Geelong West.
Yeah, not a great kick from Sarcevic as he goes short. Symes to Little. Little goes very, very wide and finds a man out there in Cod. Cod might have been dealt with after he kicked. Umpire didn't see it that way. Benstead and floating back and intercepting again, not for the first time this afternoon, as he goes short after marking for the Dragons to Mick Waters. The Geelong Falcons listed Mick Waters with the footy. Inside defensive 50 in the corridor. He wants the middle of the ground and he wants Charlie Sarcevic in a 3-on-1. He was always going to lose that. Lovell, front of the pack, a handball off. Eastman, kick inside forward 50. Wanting Colin, Welsh, who stretched, couldn't mark. Quick snap, Moy, goal square. And it's going to fall to the goal line and be touched on the way through just as a flying boot came from Eastman. And a minor score in the margin is 1. 5-6-36 the Giants, 5-7-37 Bell Park. 8.5 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock. Third quarter action from West Oval on K-Rock Football.
10 marks to Benstead Kingy, 7 intercepted.
So the Parkers become broadcast side. Worm long with the kick, as long as he can get it. Watts, Hall goes up as he always does. Brad Wood handball to Watts. His handball on the outside to Cossins. His little handball back to Watts. Geelong West working along the boundary. Dwyer off a step. High kick into the pocket. Where's Nick Hall? Moy comes as well. Ball spills free. Across half back for Bell Park. They get it away. Payne gives the handball, gets the 1-2, gets it back under pressure. Has to go back with some help. Gets it. And they go now where it belonged, towards half forward with the kick. But again, set up behind the ball. The Geelong West side, Evans takes the mark and goes out wide to Ballantyne.
He's been good this afternoon, Evans. He's Ballantyne, back of the wing, sending a kick towards half forward, coming off his man, getting one high and getting a free kick. He is Wareham, who's been exceptional this afternoon, you'd have to say, for Bell Park. Gee, tough call for Birchie with the Leopold Sporties Player of the Day. And the Steamatic standout. Short kick, Marnie presenting up. Marnie swings under his right boot. Kick inside, forward 50. Merkovic from behind could do nothing to stop the mark being taken by Cod. Cod goes short and just gets it to Lovell, who then fires a handball back to Evans. Evans runs into Fulton, bang, after getting the kick away. Benstead, very upright like Luke Maddock, you would have to say, Steve Benstead, in his approach to the footy, and there's a free kick going to Lovell against Jasper George, and they're just wasting it going inside forward 50. Really lost their shape offensively as Ballantyne goes wide. It'll pitch, bounce and roll away from David Hanley, and we'll get a boundary throw in at the outer wing, just forward of true centre wing, favouring Bell Park, but they're making a real tough ask of this use of the breeze.
The first quarter they had the breeze. They were long, they were direct, they got a lot of ball inside their forward half, and they just seem to be stuffing around with the ball at the moment.
Watts got it down the ruck contest towards Fulton. Tobin gets wrapped up. Umpire's going to come in and go holding the ball against Will Tobin. So Watts is going to, once he gets the footy from underneath, Tobin's going to take the free kick back in the centre wing, and blood rule, I think. There is, well and truly, coming towards Birchie. So we'll keep an eye on that. I think it might be Sean Barnes coming off with that blood rule. And Little coming back on for him. So free kick is with Tyler Watts, back end of centre wing on the outer side. Player has been replaced. Umpire has called time back on.
St Mary's have done a number on Grovedale in the end, 23-14 to 11-10 as we get towards the final siren there.
Watts goes outside with the kick. Handley, David stands the mark. Patton against him. He has taken it forward of centre wing now, called to play on, wants to shuffle the handball. Oh, Evans, he couldn't do it. He tapped it on towards Gribble, who gets ripped off the football. Now Patton gets wrapped up as well, right on 50 for the Geelong West side, and we're going to have a ball up. It's 5-6-36 Geelong West. Bell Park with the breeze. 5-7-37. 12 played, third term. Port Phillip Berry's time clock.
45 from the Giants goal. They'd love another one into the breeze. Here's a quick snap from Little to about 15 out from goal. Benstead again standing tall, taking a mark. He's been outstanding this afternoon. Here we go short, wanting Wareham. Was nearly cut off, but it's going to land for Wareham. He got one high. He'll win a free kick, and they dodge a bullet there. As the free kick goes against Cossins, who was not too impressed about the decision, I don't think. A little bit of remonstration. Wareham just inside defensive 50 goes wide. Merkovic, the target. What a great kick by Wareham. But this is the next kick that's really been hurting them. Merkovic sits it on the head of Tobin. Big ass. Wonderful mark. Hamlin Hanger contender. Quickly got to his feet and got it to Sarcevic. No. Couldn't complete the mark, Jack. Taken down maybe without it. Umpire said play on. West will hold firm. No, they won't. There's a wonderful tackle laid there by Gorman. Has won a free kick for holding the ball as he dragged Dwyer to ground. And Jackson Gorman, who has kicked just the one goal in his 30 GFL senior games, a chance for one of those is this year in fact, but a chance for a second and an important one at an important time. This for a 7-point Bell Park lead from 30 metres out. Kicks across the face and just sneaks it in for a behind. So disappointing there, but doubles their lead. 5-8-38, 5-6-36 Bell Park. Leading Geelong West in this third quarter. It's gone 13.5 minutes for Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
Lockie Handley into Evans, who goes towards centre wing with his kick. Handley on the outside. Fulton bears down on him, needs to get the handball across to Gribble. The umpire has said it was out before he could actually get that handball away. So a boundary throw in on the outer side centre wing.
Again,
plenty of action on the outer side this afternoon here at West Oval. Welsh brings it down towards David Handley. Handball, though, only on to Fulton for Bell Park. Inside 50 with the kick. Tobin from behind had to punch it away defensively for the Parkers. Ball spills free towards Merkovic. Or Bell Park wrapped up without the footy. Umpire said play on. Evans over the top with a dinky little kick. Sarcevic comes at it defensively. And the umpire said chop. Free kick. Going to Noah Gribble at right half-back for the Giants.
Werribee listed Gribble. Called to play on and then just had to prop and kick short, and Welsh provided him with a target to get out of trouble. He kicks from a standing start towards half forward, but coming up and judging it nicely was Worm, and then he burst away after marking kick towards McMahon, stretching and taking John Dyson style. Handball back to Worm. Worm from 35, mung off the boot, missed to the right. Gee, that would have been some sort of goal. It all started with his intercept mark at half back. Wonderful mark taken by McMahon. It was like John Dyson.
Brilliant.
Back in the early 80s at the SCG.
John Dyson.
The margin is now 3.
No.
Yuck.
Oh, yuck. Brad Wood kicked it in looking for Jaden Symes. Lucky he played on. It didn't hit Jaden Symes. It hit the boundary line. 50 out from goal. We're going to have a boundary throw in. So that was real poo. That wasn't good.
No.
So Giants to defend again. Boundary throw in from the ruck contest. Nearly hit Jaden Symes in the head. Brad Wood gets a clearing kick. Annan in the middle of the ground. Handball. Set a target for his teammate, who was pretty good in the end. Watts can pick it up and go back towards Walsh off a step, and that's just not good. McWaters gets back there and takes the mark for Bell Park. Wants to switch the play. Can't see much to go to, though, so might have to go down the line. Called to play on. He does now. He goes wide. There's something wrong with his footy, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. And turned it over, and the mark has been taken by Saw Giovanni.
Yeah, this is a contest that hasn't really, it won't be in the archives as one of the greats we've seen here on K-Rock Footy, but it is at half forward as Patton gives a handball off to Petering, who's dragged down to ground by David Handley, going nowhere. And in fact, with McWaters will get a ball up.
The only thing going for it, it's less than a goal.
Thank God.
The ruck work done by Marnie now, and he went straight up the chimney. David Hanley somehow got a kick on the ball while being dragged to ground. Now the kick might have been Marnie, ricocheted off the back of a Giant into the path of Mick Waters, got one high, and he'll win a free kick just back of the wing. Broadcast side for the Dragons. Just real no flow to the footy this afternoon. The breeze has impacted. Mick Waters a handball off. Fulton confronted. Will have to kick on his non-preferred right. That will go up the shot tower. Tobin maybe got a little nudge. Umpire said play on. Handball out the side door. Codd. Chance to clear. Leovold's involved, and now Lovell seeing it out. Boundary throw in. Right at the interchange gates. Jane Birchall keeping a close eye on things there.
I certainly am, but yeah, it's a real arm wrestle, isn't it? And no one can really get any continuity with their play at all.
Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, Jane Birch.
Watts gets it down from the side of the pack. David Handley, little handball to Gribble, standing start. His hands back towards Watts. He gets just a clearing kick from the centre wing position. In half forward, Benstead again for Bell Park, just holding it up. Hall wraps him up with the tackle, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. Left half forward for the Giants. Watts with a big right fist towards the boundary line. Ballantyne to run onto it. He's pushed over the boundary line with the ball. And we're going to have a boundary throw in now. Left half forward for the Giants. They're 5-6-36. Bell Park 5-9-39. And we've played 18 minutes in this third term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
Jace, Watts winning the tap down. Ball spills to the front. Little Patton, handball on the bounce, but cleaned up by Symes of the Giants. A handball to Lovell. Lovell swings a handball forward. Wonderful pick up on the half volley. Watts. Handball back inboard, just missed David Handley. Coming the other way and tackled very strongly was Payne. Brought to ground. Ball up right next to the boundary line. Right under the nose of Jane Birch, his boundary side for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. Like the look of Payne as he comes from the ground.
I think Greg Millor is probably going to be the only one happy with this at the minute.
Ball into the air.
Keeping Bell Park to nothing.
Here's the handball of Fulton. Purcell went to go over his head, so two to the Giants. Watts, bit of a don't argue on Sarcevic, then a high, long ball inside 50. They fly, but no mark. Saw Giovanni front of the pack. Neat little kick out the side door that's going to roll towards the boundary line, and Darcy Brown cleaning up for Bell Park. Dumped in a tackle, ball going nowhere, and we'll get a ball up about 35 from the Giants' goal. 5-9-39 Bell Park, 5-6-36 Geelong West. 18 3/4 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferry's time clock in this third quarter of K-Rock football. It is your old-fashioned armed wrestle here at West Oval.
Ball up. Tobin goes to Annan on the ground in the end. Got the handball away to Hoare. He wasn't going anywhere. Wrapped up by Darcy Brown straight away, so the umpire with a bit more work to do. In the right forward pocket for the Giants. And then down, Patton gets a clearing kick across 50. Symes reads at the Betty's handball, held up in the breeze. Short little kick came towards Hoare again. It didn't sit for him. Who's it going to fall for? Moy, who gets around. Always looks dangerous in front of goal. Turns around, kicks it over his shoulder and kicks his third of the afternoon and gives Geelong West the lead again. 6-6-42. They lead Bell Park 5-9-39. And that's on the Geelong Bank K-Rock third quarter scoreboard.
The thing I did notice about that, Jace, is Moy kept his feet turned inside out, didn't fall, got a shot on, and he had a couple of opportunities earlier, as we mentioned, but sort of slipped over. But, geez, he's got some class. There was a couple of players overrun the ball then, but when Moy gets it in his hands, look out.
Sandringham VFL list year, Philip Moy, and making every post a winner in his hopes of getting a shot at the Zebras on game days. Kicking out 19 goals for the season from 8 starts. Ball back in the middle. Tobin doing the ruck work against Welsh. Grabbed by Little. Fired a handball out wide. Tracking it. Evans under pressure. Lost it, but then won it back. A handball up. There a chance to clear through David Hanley after he got it from Leovold, and the kick went wide. The mark taken by Eastman. He gave a handball off to Ballantyne. They'll go inside forward 50 again. Collins, his target. Good spoil from behind. Came from Boyer, front of the pack. The handball to Moy might have been taken high. Ball spills out. Darcy Brown put his head over it. Confronted by Annan. Umpire said that's high. Well, Annan couldn't really do much more other than lay the tackle. What do you do? Not tackle him? Like, player leads with the head. Annan went for the body. Contact up. That should be incidental.
Ball goes out wide. Looking for Charlie Sarcevic. Out of bounds on the full though. Couldn't keep it in. So free kick.
It's 11 for the day.
For Geelong West. Evans has it now, 65 from goal. Drives it long to the top of the square, holds up Benstead in the middle, always Hamlin hanger style.
How good's he been?
Takes the mark.
Unbelievable.
Handball outboard. Gorman now runs through half back. Tries to go to Marnie. Gets a push. Umpire says off hands, out of bounds. Boundary throw in. And good play, Jaden Symes there to see it over the line. 6:42. The Giants, Bell Park 5:9:39. Late stages this third term. 21 and a half played. Port Phillip Ferries time clock style.
What does this do to the mentality of the teams, the scoreboard being this, and if it stays at this at three-quarter time with one into the breeze? Oh, there's a high tackle laid surely from the boundary throw-in, not paid.
Well, one team go in at three-quarter time with their backup thinking, well, we've got the breeze and we know we can kick a score into the last quarter, and the other team has to go in going, well, we've got nothing to lose, let's run the ball up into the breeze. Things do change, I suppose, mentally going into three-quarter time with the breeze.
Big Waters a clearing handball into the path of Fulton. He'll want his left boot, instead goes with a right-hand handball. He found a teammate in Georgia, go back to Fulton, now to Purcell. Patton, his handball missed its target. He'll have to go back and find it himself, although Sarcevic, who was the intended target, did get back there, but he was dumped in a tackle. And yeah, Lockie Patton might have been just a little bit too cute there with that handball. He doesn't do too much wrong, the Dragon skipper. But it's Sarcevic, Jack, with the free kick, who goes short to Fulton, who will look to use that weapon of a left boot.
Comes back inboard, finds Worm, who runs across the centre square, gives it to Benstead. He's handball on the outboard. Oh, dangerous Gorman over the top. Sheringham, who gets it back to Sarcevic. They work the triangle. Oh, kick though was smothered. It was petering in fact, but Sarcevic helps out, kicks it back inboard, but it's all. They're lining up basically taking tickets Geelong West at the back. And Riley Welch takes the mark, wants to drive it long to the outer side centre wing. Big pack there, Collins through the middle. Sarcevic again, Charlie. Short little kick was better to Sheringham this time. Now Jack Oates, 65 from goal. Hasn't got much to kick to. There's about half a dozen Geelong West players by themselves behind the ball. He goes towards the top of the square. George got a hold. Umpire said play on handball. Chopped off. Sarcevic wrapped up straight away. Umpire will come in and ball up about 30 out from the Bell Park goal.
They need one, Kirsch.
They need a couple. Absolutely, they do.
Umpire puts it into the air, about 25 from goal. From the pack, Marnie got a handball away. Fulton, don't argue on little. Then the handball back, but Sarcevic left it behind. That was Charlie, or rather Jack. Now a chance for the Giants to clear. Hanley, a handball back, although Lovell was under pressure. That seemed to find his way out of it. Evans has been good. Saw Giovanni to Lovell, who just bangs it forward. They buy some territory. Good spoil Boyer from behind on Collins. Tracked by Benstead to the boundary line. Boundary line will win, and it's out of bounds. So we've just seen the 2 goals in this third quarter. We've played 24 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock, and you'd have to say there is not much action left in this third quarter of play from West Oval as we see St Mary's 152, Grovedale 83 in the early game.
Tobin gets it down to the front for Bell Park. Ball spills towards Patton. He can't keep it in. Runs out of room on centre wing on the outer side. We'll have another boundary throw in. Kirsch, what James Saker would be happy about was the way Geelong West was able to transition out the front of that contest then.
And they've done it
They've
done it on numerous occasions, Jace. It's sort of like they've changed their whole game of two halves. They've changed the way they played the first half to what they're playing now.
From the ruck contest, Handley gets it at the back and runs free, runs through, just gets the kick away under pressure, goes long towards the top of the square, but at the back, Darcy Brown read it the better for Bell Park, and they would be well and truly in trouble without Darcy Brown and Isaac Wareham, but the ball spills free. Saw Giovanni, saw Annan out the corner of his eye, so the kick wasn't great coming out. Geelong West were able to transition back in, and Kyan has taken the mark and will shoot from 20 metres out. Close to the boundary line in the left forward pocket at the northern end of the ground.
I'll give you an example, Jason, what you're talking about there and how tight the 2 key players were at half-time in Hanley and Patton. Hanley's had 10 touches, 4 clearances this quarter, and he's walked out the front of 2 stoppages.
So Annan comes in. This to make the margin 9 points. It's a good kick too from the big fella, and he kicks the 7th for Geelong West. They go to 7, 6:48. Grow the margin. Bell Park 5, 9:39. Geelong bang K-Rock. Third quarter scoreboard and in the experts chair. Thanks to the Sporting Globe. Watch every Cats home and away game at the Sporting Globe Geelong. Here is Matt Kershaw.
Whilst West were okay offensively then. It's what Bell Park's doing defensively that they've really let themselves down with, and their overuse of the ball, they're defensively being poor. It's like they've just sort of, haven't had the stamina to go on with what they were doing in the first half, and it's disappointing because they've set themselves up at half-time to give a real shake this game, and they just haven't gone on with it in this third quarter.
Yeah, you'd have to think now they're in a bit of trouble, even though the margin's only 9 points. West to kick with the aid of the breeze, and here's the big fella in Tyler Watts trying to barge through the pack, and he left the footy behind for a moment, and we've got another stoppage. We've had plenty of those this afternoon. Watts to go again against the undersized Tobin. Watts won the tap down. Lovell out the front of the stoppage again. They go. Kick inside forward 50 from Barnes. Over the top, Boyer was good on Collins to knock it to the boundary line and out of bounds for a boundary throw in. Right forward pocket. Giants in attack. If they were to kick one more, it almost puts the game to bed, which is, even at 15 points, you think, well, it's only 15 points, but with this breeze, you would suspect it's going to be tough darts for Bell Park in the last. Tap down Anand. Little was there, couldn't rove it for West. Here is Worm trying to burst away, did so with a bounce, got away from Kai Anand, and then sent a kick very, very wide, looking out there for Wilson Mack. It's over the head of him and Symes in that Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup. He's been good down back side. He's done some good work this afternoon when really he's made his name as a ruck through his very impressive GFL career. Game 130 this afternoon. I can tell you he's played 130 of a possible 144 since coming from Bellpost Hill.
Watts gets it down towards Cossins with a big right fist. His handball missed Little. Coming the other way, Patton took a bounce, runs through centre wing, needs a target at half forward. Hand to it, Merkovic, but there's Symes, who we've just spoken about. His handball forward of the footy and comes from Handley back towards Dwyer, who gets it around the corner towards centre wing. They go now with a kick. Barnes inside 50. It's a 2-on-2. Moy came across to help Collins. He couldn't be there. Annan's handball out was good. Oh, Ballantyne took too long and was under pressure. Bell Park came across in defence and it's going to be holding the ball. Free kick, Bell Park. So Ballantyne will be shoveled off the ball, and free kick coming back to Darcy Brown, right in the goal square defensively. Switches the ball towards Boyer. Handball over the top. Now back in board. Worm to Benstead. Still inside defensive 50. Called to play on now. Towards half forward with a kick. Coming from behind again, Gorman, no. Standing his ground was Evans. Handball underground. Tobin puts a good tackle on. Was that a sling? The umpire said no, holding the ball. Will Tobin to take the free kick for Bell Park on centre wing.
Quarter's gone longer than you'd expect for only 3 goals being kicked. We have had a lot of stoppages, but they need a goal. The Dragons, Gorman pulls the kick and pulls it very, very wide and bounces out in front of Jasper George, and we'll get a boundary throw in at left half forward. 5-9-39 Bell Park. The Giants 7-6-48. Birchie.
Ballantyne looks a bit proppy after that smother, actually. His ankle looks like he might have... his opponent might have landed on that. He's coming off now, actually, as we speak.
Listen, John God, keep an eye on that one.
So boundary throw in comes to the back for Bell Park. McMahon went left and went right. He came back on his right, and then the kick was partly smothered. Now it falls to the hands of Handley. He gets it back towards centre wing. Moy, good mark. And he plays on quickly. He missed the target with the handball, though. Lovell, his handball on the back to Little as the siren sounds for three-quarter time. And the Giants doing nicely at three-quarter time. 7-6-48. They lead Bell Park 5-9-39.
Kick 2 goals, 2 to 1 goal, 2 to turn a 3-point lead into, dare I say it, that's a very handy little buffer. 9 points as they will kick with the breeze in the last term, and they'll ask Bell Park a lot of questions in the Kyannan in the time-on period of the third quarter sees the West Giants with a 9-point lead at three-quarter time, and they will kick with the aid of the breeze in this final term. Although, Jane Birch, you're down just listening to Geelong West. We will get you just to give us a bit of a weather update in terms of the breeze. Might seem to have just eased off a little bit, but we'll get that from Birchie in just a moment. Just off the KFC Twitter, Darren Gilmore, St Mary's doing it easy at West Cardinia versus Grovedale. Healthy crowd at St Mary's. Around the grounds, thank you, Jace, for Leopold Sporties.
They certainly are doing it easy. St Mary's 152, Grovedale 83. At Anthony Costa Oval. South Bowen 82, broken away from Lara 29. Colac 81, the same against St Albans 33. And Leopold 111, North Shore 19.
Now, what about this in the AFL?
Yes, well, the Hawks, 20-minute mark of the final term, 13-7-85, lead the Brisbane Lions 11-6-72 at the MCG.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one as we go down to Jane Birch. I think, Birch, you're trying to get your way to Greg Mellor. Down to you for a quick couple of words.
Greg, you've got your noses in front, but as you said, you've got the breeze coming home, but you just need to make sure that you still use that ball, lower the eyes and hit the targets going forward.
We've found that work, like every time we've gone long, particularly they're trying to sort of generate a spare player off the back of that. And when the times we've lowered our eyes and been able to pick our way through, we sort of found that we've given ourselves better shots on goal.
And you had you sort of got on top in the contested footy there. You're getting out the front of stoppages a bit easier, so that must be pleasing.
Yeah, well, we've tried to change up a few things that are with that, particularly between the arc stoppages. So hopefully we can continue to work on that and see how we go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Greg Mellor there, great to have access to the coaches at the breaks. And Jane Birch for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre, working very hard. Your ultimate destination for health, fitness and recovery. Nick and Emma Jarman and all the team at Geelong Sports Medicine Centre. You'll find them on Ballarat Road, North Geelong. A ballerina around the grounds, Jace.
Yes, Montawari 33, Torquay 80.
So that was 33-31 or something at one stage.
Yeah, it was. Drysdale 124, Port Arlington 24. Barwon Heads 100, Geelong Amateur 39, and Newcombe 56, Ocean Grove 90. And Heath Jamison has given us a Queenscliff update, has he?
94-55, Anglesey trailing the Cooters.
The Cooters going nicely, the Cooters, aren't they?
Rory,
they're going well.
They're playing kids left. I was talking to somebody from Queenscliff during the week. They played, I think, 6 or 7 kids still eligible for under-18s last week.
Yes.
So Rory Nicol is investing in the talent that is coming through down at Queenscliff, which is fantastic. And
female chairperson down there too.
Ali Waite.
Yeah, Ali Waite, yes. Going nicely, the Cooters.
Yeah, they absolutely. They had their big history day last week. It was a massive day down there.
Yeah,
so
good.
And they've got the likes of Justin Marr and Tom Lim running around teaching the kids in the reserves, and they're fairly handy names to have. Multiple premierships there, so looking good. Well done, Rory Nicol. He probably deserves it too. Obviously did the tough yards at Newcombe, got another opportunity, proved he can coach, and is once again proving that again. Kirsch for Sporting Globe. Is it Giants to lose from here?
It is, absolutely it is. And make no mistake, that ruck contest that we spoke about at half-time has made a massive difference. We talked about the shift in clearances and then winning every stoppage. So I expect West to go on with it now. It looks like Bell Park really have run out of legs and confidence, to be honest, the way they have been defending.
22 and a half minutes gone at the MCG in the last quarter. Hawthorn 86, Brisbane 73. Dare I say it, the Hawks are going to tip over the Lions.
Unbelievable.
you got to love the AFL. Footy, it's a great sport. Final term. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Here's Jace.
Tyler Watts gets it down easily in the ruck contest. Kick off the ground, though, by Fulton for Bell Park. Need the first one, the Park, as you suspect. Merkovic can't take it with him. Little gets back there to help out across defensive 50. Gives it to Lockie Hanley. Left foot kick towards centre wing. Tobin comes across. Oh, great mark by Eastman. Coming back, Hamlin Hanger style. Did nicely on centre wing. And took the grab under extreme pressure. Got it back inboard to Little. Now Ethan Little just holds the ball up. Right in the middle goes now with the kick. Out back to whence it came. And Eastman will take the mark and try and drive the Giants forward.
Game 159 for Paddy Eastman this afternoon. Sits a kick up inside forward or towards forward 50. Flying Hawk couldn't mark. Fulton off the hands of the pack for Bell Park. Gave it to Benstead, who jammed it on the boot towards the outer wing, and it's come off and it's landed on the chest there. Might have been Payne who went short. Was it Merkovic who went short, I should say, to Jack Sarcevic, who on his left boot now sends it inside forward 50. They need a mark. Oh, couldn't take it. Jasper George at ground level. It's going to spill out the side door. Sheringham's just got to finish. Sheringham does finish. From 20 out on the run, Jackson Sheringham, with all his experience, ensures they pull back to within 3 points. And we've got game on well and truly at West Oval. That first goal so important. And on the Harvey Norman K-Rock scoreboard, the Dragons are 6-9-45. The Giants 7-6-48.
I have no doubt that Jimmy Saker at the three-quarter time huddle would have said we need to just work harder into the breeze. Our work rate was poor in that third quarter. We just need to run the ball up and give ourselves every opportunity. And they've come out with a bit more intent, probably a little bit more intent than I thought they would. And, yeah, look, this is game on.
You might have charged them up.
You had to if they were pretty poor in that third quarter, weren't they?
So back to the middle. Tobin and Watts. Tobin gets it down, probably in the middle. Little's handball back towards Tobin. He threw it, I think. The umpire said yes, he did. And McMahon's going to take it. It's playing on at all costs pretty much at Bell Park here. They want to move it.
Get it forward.
Way too slow. He was going to give it to Benstead by hand. Now he drives it long and goes towards half forward with the kick. Symes doesn't take the mark, needs some support. Got it. Cosson's handball back in towards Tyler Watts. His handball towards Little, who runs out of traffic from defensive 50 to the middle. Great kick. And Hall comes up and takes the mark.
Hall swings it wide, sees Moi all alone at right half forward, wants to take on the man of the mark, does so. Purcell has a bounce, breaks 50, runs to 45 and kicks the Lammy's Tavern. Goal of the afternoon. Wonderful Philip Moi. He's fourth, and maybe that's the one that can break the back of the Dragons. He took on Jack Purcell. He said, I reckon I'm going to be too strong for you. He had a bounce. He steadied at 45 and he went bang Kirsch. And that is a wonderful finish from Moi as he kicks his fourth of the afternoon and well and truly puts himself in schematic standout calculations for this afternoon of 8.
He's one of my favourite players in the competition, and that's the reason why. He can finish goals. He's dangerous. And look, come back to that kick from McMahon too. It was a poor kick. It was a poor decision to kick to the defensive side of the ground. You just got to kick it long, straight into your forward 50.
50-50 ruck contest in the middle. And results in a secondary bounce after a number of players got their hands on the ball. Tobin goes up early. Watts gets it down. Now from the middle, Wareham. Just got a tumbling punt, but at the back, Gribble. Bit of candy around a couple. Oh, the handball. Gee whiz, that set a bit of a task. Forward of the footy. They get it up, and the kick comes wide. Too wide in the end. I think it was Lovell, was it? It was Barnes, in fact. And he has pushed it out of bounds on the full. Short little kick for Bell Park back to Patton. Top of the goal square. Looks to get it to Boyer, who feigned a handball, then goes to the short kick, and it's okay. And the mark's been taken by Worm inside defensive 50 for Bell Park.
Do they need to attack this broadcast side of the ground? Oh, no, he's gone with a kick that's carried too much to Ballantyne. Good to see him back out on the field, but he doesn't look to be moving overly freely. He goes short. He finds Hanley. Hanley runs to 45 and has missed to the left, through for a behind for David Hanley. And all of a sudden, we've got a little bit of excitement going on in this contest. But the margin is 10 to the good of the Giants. They're 8-7-55. Bell Park 6-9-45. 4.5 minutes played in the final term on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Wareham for Bell Park at full back. They are looking like they're coming broadcast side. Puts it outside 50. Big pack there. Oh, in the middle. The only person that actually flew for the ball was Tanner Lovell.
That's all right to attack this side. You need someone here, Jason.
Correct. And he's short to David Handley. 50 out from goal directly in front. And David Handley will just go back, chew up some time and kick the goal.
Final score from St Mary's, 152. The Saints, Grovedale 83. So a big 69-point win there for the two-time reigning premier.
David Handley to make the margin 16 points. He's kicked one this afternoon, called to play on because he runs around his mark. 50 out from goal, he runs around, and that's where it finished because he misses it to the near side. 1 goal, 2. His personal tally, 8-8-56. The Giants, they lead Bell Park 6-9-45. Harvey Norman, K-Rock, final quarter scoreboard.
Wareham to bring the ball back into play for the Dragons. He'll go short and finds a presenting Darcy Brown, but he's still well inside defensive 50. He fires a handball very wide. Benstead confronted, loops one over the top. Wareham had run on, got to right half back. He now loops a handball that didn't get to its intended target in Gorman, who then had to lay a really good tackle on Ballantyne to halt his progress. And has he paid that holding the ball?
He has.
Wow, that is a tough call on Jamison Ballantyne. And the free kick belongs to Jackson Gorman. Gorman sends a kick towards Wilson Mack, who hasn't done a lot since opening quarter, where he was pretty good. He's been paid the mark, and then he quickly plays on. What's he got on the lead? No mark. Marnie crashes the pack, though, forces a spillage. Clearing kick for the Giants. We'll find Hoare, who loves to fly, and he takes a really good mark.
He does. Back into the centre square. Chips the ball short.
Hawthorn by 19.
Eastman gets it on the outboard by hand. They go inside 50 with the kick. It's a 2-on-2. Getting back in front, no mark taken. Oh, Moy again, front and centre. Breaks the tackle. Goes with an outside kick with the right. Oh, it hits the inside of the goal post, would you believe? And through for one behind. 4 goals, 1. His tally this afternoon. And the Giants, they go to 8-9-57. They lead Bell Park 6-9-45. And we've been playing 7 minutes in this final turn. Port Phillip Berry's time clock.
Hawthorn at home, 19 up at the 30-minute mark as Wareham runs out of his defensive goal square, brings it broadcast side, big fly over the top. No mark taken, though, by Tobin. Jackson Sheringham, the roving handball release. Sarcevic has just got to go. Tucks it under the arm. Surely he'd have too much toe for Symes. Instead goes looking for Wilson Mack. Wasn't a great kick, but the mark was dropped by may have been Leovold. Chance now for Wilson Mack. He couldn't get away. Good tackle, bringing Sarcevic to ground, and a boundary throw in the left forward pocket. Might have been Cossins, in fact. And getting up just a little bit sore for St John of God is Jack Sarcevic. But we've got a boundary throw in left forward pocket. They need to score here, the Dragons.
Boundary throw in front, Marnie. Umpire said hold. Free kick, Bell Park. In the ruck contest against Tyler Watts. And Toby Marnie will take the free kick 30 at 45-degree angle.
Oh, it's a must. Must kick it, Jace. No ifs, no buts. And 50, so he will.
And 50 will kick it now.
Oh, wow.
So Tyler Watts gives away the 50. The umpire standing right next to him.
Just questioned the umpire a little bit about that ruck contest, and he said, not today. Not today, you question me.
Not now. So Marnie comes in and kicks the goal. His second of the afternoon, 7th for Bell Park, 7-9-51. Close the gap, but Geelong West, 8-9-57. Harvey Norman, K-Rock. Final quarter scoreboard in the expert share, thanks to the Sporting Globe. As always, Matt Kershaw.
They haven't had all their own way west this quarter, and to Bell Park's credit, they've fought back and they're still in this contest. But just that kick from Sarcevic prior had to be to the advantage off, and then they were lucky to get that free kick. So they're not going away. They've just got to keep competing here. Just keep getting that ball forward.
Hawthorn by 25.
Oh, wow.
Maybe they had the breeze now in the last quarter. Not in the third.
31 and a half minutes played at the MCG.
Remarkable.
The big wrap in our 5th quarter for the Sandman Mattress Factory back in the middle. Tobin might have caught one high, won the tap, but the clearing kick from Lovell to half forward that bounces through Moy. Benstead tracks it well. Watts has got rid of the long sleeves underneath the short sleeve jumper. Handball off to Wareham. Wareham kicks very, very wide. And there's another one for the out of bounds on the full column. Kirsch, which is at for Kerrs higher.
13.
Is that some sort of record under your watchful eye?
I could go through my 1,432 pages of games, and yes, it would be.
Ballantyne with the resultant free kick for the Giants, and the Footscray VFL listed player kicks to half forward. It's over the head of the pack, tracked by Boyer to the boundary line. He was happy to see it out with the assistance of Collins, and a boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket. 9:33 played. Margin is 6. Game well and truly in the balance here at West Oval, but the Giants with the advantage of a breeze blowing to the Church Street end. Welsh won the tap down for the Giants. Tracking it through traffic is Lovell. Went one way, then wanted to come back inboard. Kicked to about 25 from goal, but judging it best off the boot. Mark taken for Bell Park, although the kick coming out was not ideal, looking for Wareham, but he's helped out by Darcy Brown trying to get it back to Wareham. Gribble, he caught one high, he did. And there'll be a free kick going to the Giants. And it's going to go to Gribble, who wants to take on the man on the mark. Wonderful diving smother, Wareham. Ball spilled, though, for Hoare. Hoare tight in the pocket. Just sets it up to the goal square. Wants Collins. Benstead across the front. Been good all day. Knocks it through for a rush behind. But
might be handy.
It's a handy point. The margin is 7.
Probably is handy on a day like today.
So Benstead's going to kick it back in for Bell Park. Last time the kick in came broadcast side, but nobody flew for the Parkers. And he plays on and runs his full measure. Terrible kick off the boot. Falls to the front. Everybody goes up. Nobody takes the mark. Eastman gives it away by hand. Woods' kick was smothered back towards Handley. Lockie gives it away to Welsh. Gives it back inboard. Now Wood close to the boundary line. Got a kick inside 50. Benstead goes back off the side of the pack. Oh, Moy lurking. Little's there as well. Oh, great tackle. Purcell umpire says play on. Falls to Sheringham. Goes to Lockie Patton. Defensive 50 along the line. Good mark. by Dwyer for Geelong West on centre wing.
Oh, he wants to come back inboard, but Worm got a hand on it, couldn't reel it in. David Hanley got involved. Welsh tried to knock it away. David Hanley, close quarters, kick inside 50. Barnes, but he's turned it over, and it's been marked by Wareham, and nobody wants to win this.
No one at all.
Wareham across the face of goal. They'll look to attack via the outer side, and he finds out there Mick Waters, whose kick earlier was a little bit skew with. Let's see how he goes this time from inside his back pocket, confronted by the man on the mark. Handball to Gorman, who gave it back to Mick Waters, who had a fit of the fumbles, then socketed forward about 5 metres. And, set a task. It might have been for Wilson Mack, who had to lay a tackle.
I think we're world record out on the fulls and world record turnovers.
Stoppages have been fairly significant too, as we've got one left half forward, about 70 metres from the West goal. They lead by 7 at the 12-minute mark of the last.
So ball up, getting it down. Fulton in the ruck contest. Umpires found a free kick up for a hold. Miles away, but found the free kick on the side of the pack to Tanner Lovell.
15-8, 98 to 11-7, 73. Hawthorn by 25. Win at the MCG.
Did it easy. Ball in. Mick Waters in front. Got one high. Umpire said no. Off hands, out of bounds. Boundary thrown in front of the scoreboard. Geelong West 8-10-58. Bell Park 7-9-51. We played 12 and a half in this final term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. Port Phillip Ferry's, there's no better way to travel to the footy.
There's going to be a free kick from the ruck contest. Going which way? Going to Welsh. So Welsh can have a shot at goal if he so desires. Man on the mark stands about 40 from goal. Riley Welsh, ex-Mornington, Yarrawonga, Beaconsfield, hasn't kicked a goal for the Giants. Be a good time to kick one. Sends it on its way, but has pulled it to the left and through for a minor score. And the margin is 8. To the good of the Giants. They're 8-11-59. Bell Park 7-9, 51-13. And a quarter minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, no better way to travel to the footy.
Wareham have raffled the kick injuries this afternoon, Bell Park. Mostly Wareham, but a couple of others. And Lockie Patton saying, kick it this side and kick it as far as you can towards the boundary line. Marnie, a long way up from goal. Punch to the front. Petering, handball over the top. Should be able to run it up. Payne can get it to... Sheringham was running past. Had to give it. McMahon, give the first option. Kirsch, that's always the way. And that's what gets wrapped up, and that's what happens. And Geelong West defensively. Now Nick Hall will take it in the middle of West Oval.
Hall short, sits it up. Gorman saw a lot of the kick intended for David Hanley, but Hanley was able to stand his ground and mark before Gorman was able to spoil. Now the kick inside forward, 50. Benstead flying but not marking, bringing it to ground. McMahon, Patton. They just need to run the footy and get something happening. Merkovic drives a kick, wants Wilson Mack and hits him on the chest. This looks positive. Mack wanted to come back inboard, then went outboard, then came back inboard with the kick, trying to get it over the top towards Jasper George. George tracking it to the boundary line. You'd be happy to see it out, I reckon.
On the full.
It is, it's out in the full, and it's against the Giants. It was socked maybe by Dwyer. He was a bit stiff. Now George, he's put it onto the chest of Sarcevic, tight in the right forward pocket. And
Geez, this is a tough kick. This is probably the hardest place on the ground to kick it from.
so Jack Sarcevic, well, he's a left footer.
He has to come out and around.
So he'd have to come out on the bend and then factor in the breeze, Jack Sarcevic.
Keep it low. That's what he needs
well,
to do.
he's a
Keep it low.
Sarcevic, so anything could happen.
Jack Sarcevic to make the margin 2. He just opens up the angle slightly. He kicks and he goals! Wonderful finish, Jack Sarcevic. He kicks his second. Would you expect anything less from a Sarcevic?
Absolutely not.
Margin is 2. 8-9-57. Bell Park. 8-11-59. The Geelong West Giants. They will not be denied Bell Park into the breeze in this final term of K-Rock football. We've gone 15 minutes on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock.
Well, that's why.
How's that pendulum going?
It's 2 points west at the minute. Hey, that's why we said, if there was anyone else, I would have said that's an impossible kick. Probably centre it up, but it was a Sarcevic, so you got to give them every chance, and that's what they can do.
Back in the middle, Welsh in the ruck for Geelong West. Gets it down. Tobin's there as well. Sheringham in the middle for Bell Park. McMahon spills free for Bell Park. Goes towards half forward. George front and centre. Couldn't take the footy. Under pressure. Gribble's handball. Missed the target. So he has to go back. Oh, he holds on to Sarcevic way too long, who was in front looking for the footy.
As well.
And now there's a push and shove.
Yeah, there's a bit going on there. Wilson Mack, the boy band, wasn't happy with it. Evans comes across to talk to him. Now, Jack Sarcevic,
It's
who
been important this quarter.
has kicked the last goal 35 seconds ago, he has a chance to take the lead back for Bell Park against the Breeze. He's kicking from 45 out, 45-degree angle, northern end of the ground.
This will get the Parkers up and about.
And right in front of the Bell Park coach's box as well as he comes in. Noah Gribble stands the mark, giving away that free kick. And he runs out, little left foot kick. He's left it out there as it come back with the Breeze.
Oh,
yes, it has! He certainly has. He's tacked it back like Ben Lexon. He's done beautifully. And he has put his third on the board this afternoon and has given Bell Park the lead in this final term. Now they go to 9-9-63, and you wouldn't believe it because they looked all out of it at three-quarter time. They lead Geelong West 8-11-59 by 4 points on the Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Well, they were really good at that last centre clearance as well. So let's see how they go here. Jack McMahon just absolutely hit the contest hard. Great clearance into the forward 50. They've got to go again here.
What's the response from the Giants, who we thought were in the box seat? Watts wins the Annan wins the tap down. He's gone to the ruck for a rare time this afternoon.
Worms in there too, by
I think it's his first run in the ruck today.
Umpire puts it into the air. Climbing high, winning the tap. Anand out the front of the pack, David Hanley. Wareham's gone in there, as you said. Handball to Worm. Worm kicks wide. It's a bouncing ball. It'll be tracked by Jasper George. Oh, wonderful tackle. Leovold. Big moment, brought him to ground. What a free kick. That's a great tackle by young Charlie Leovold, playing just his fourth senior game. Oh, there's a bit going on off the footy as well. George involved with Leovold. He dumped him in some sort of iron sheik arrangement. May he rest in peace. The iron sheik passed during the week. Leovold, a helicopter to the wing. Judging at best, Fulton couldn't mark, bounced off his substantial chest and landed in the waiting arms of his captain Patton. And lock yourselves in. This should be a cracking finish here at West Oval. 18.5 played. Bell Park by 4. Tap down was won by Tobin, but a quick kick forward. Lovell, wonderful mark. Philip Moy on the chest, bobbled it, quickly played on inside 50. Too much on the kick for Collins. Guess who now? Benstead marking on the chest.
Cream rises to the top. Benstead, short little kick. Finds Petering, goes to the outside with a lateral kick in front of the scoreboard. Gorman off a step towards centre wing, getting across. Good mark. Was that a diving mark? The umpire said no, he didn't take it. That was Dwyer. And off hands, it is out of bounds for a throw-in, centre wing on the outer side.
Well, Bell Park can't get caught into just looking at the clock now and just thinking, we've got
plenty of time to go.
Yeah, exactly right. They've got to keep trying to win this game of footy.
What was the average goal number for both the clubs
9.
this year?
Yep.
Boundary throw in. Tobin gets it down. Oh, beautifully rowed by Little. Goes inside 50. Oh, Moy there again. Gets around. Handball on the outboard. Missed Gribble as the target across 50. Needs to pick it up. Patton comes across. Got some support. Great pick up.
Geez.
Charlie Sarcevic, left foot kick to centre wing. Over the top of Wilson Mack. Goes back. Dwyer. He's going to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in. And this game was dead and buried at three-quarter time. All of a sudden, it's a light. The Parkers by 4 points.
It kicked 4 straight.
We were playing for the Snooze Fest Cup at three-quarter time.
We were. Ball back into play. Right half forward. Anand winning the tap down. Not taking it Lovell. Little fighting for it. He's busted his backside all afternoon as Ethan Little. But he can't extract himself from that pack as he's brought down by McMahon and also Fulton at the bottom of that pack. And we'll get a ball up. Tobin is the undersized ruckman. Who would have thought? Anand got a hand on it. Nice tap. David Hanley on the bounce. There's going to be a free kick, though, going which way? So a non-controlling umpire. We have absolutely no idea. And the free kick is going to go.
What's happening
Well,
here?
yeah, we've got a bit of a conversation between two umpires and being told to, put it in the air again. I don't know what. No, can't explain what's happened there. Only the men in lime green could tell us. Annan got high again, won the tap down. Lovell tried to barge his way through, but, gee, good work by the ruckman. Oh, it's going to be holding the ball, is it? Oh, wow.
Oh, my hat.
Gee, some of these decisions have perplexed us, I would say, this afternoon. We try and keep it positive when it comes to those officiating, but a couple of these decisions this afternoon you have to think are not in the spirit of the game.
Well, I think we're the only game that everyone can have a different interpretation of holding the ball.
Tobin, the kick inside 50. Marnie stretching and marking. Hamlin Hanger contender. He went off a standing start, stretched the arms, and was able to pull it in. And this for potentially a 10-point lead. As we've ticked into time on, 21 and a half minutes played. And a chance to cover himself in glory here, Toby Marnie.
Has that breeze died down there, Jane?
Toby Marnie.
Yeah, it has a little bit, Kirsch.
From 45 on its way. Lammy's Tavern goal of the afternoon from Toby Marnie as he kicks his third. They lead by 10. They kicked 5-9 till three-quarter time. They have now kicked 5 straight in the last quarter of action. And on their final quarter, K-Rock Harvey Norman scoreboard, it's Bell Park. They are 10-9, 69. They lead Geelong West 8-11, 59. 22 minutes played, Port Phillip Ferry's time clock.
Well, I think we're looking at a totally different side to what we saw in the third quarter, and they're playing like they had in the first half. So, full credit to them.
Back in the middle again. Bell Park try and take it away. Sheringham comes in late. Umpire said holding the ball. So Geelong West with the free kick. Worm. It's against Worm.
They have to go.
Barnes got it. Plays on now. Goes inside 50 with the kick. Boy, Benstead over the back. Falls towards Hall. Coming across Gorman over the top of it as well. He's hatched it. The umpire says. Held to him.
But the way that things have been paid today.
35 out from goal.
That's right on it.
So ball up, Geelong West into attack. They're down by 10 points, 23 played. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, final term. Ball up, Tobin. Watts gets it down in the forward line. Ball spills free. Still in dispute. Big pack around it. Comes to the back to Gorman. Breaks free. Handball was chopped off though. Falls towards Patton to kick around the corner. Can he keep it in? No, yes he can, but only as far as Evans, 65 from goal for the Giants.
They need one here. They have to score from this forward foray. Evans swings out to open the angle, sets it to a 25 from goal. Annan flew, but only with the one hand. That won't reel the footy in. Here's Moy having his kick wonderfully smothered by Purcell. Diving across his boot, now to bounds it goes. Just as ready as Moy was to pounce on number 5. Jack Purcell with an act of desperation. Not the first smother this afternoon from the Dragons of that quality. Ball back into play, left forward pocket. From the throw-in, Watts won the tap down. Lovell, handball forward. Ball's bobbling around. Chance here with a handball. Gribble, or is it Leovold? In fact, now it's Worm getting it away for the Dragons towards the boundary line. And tracking it is Mack, and it's out. And they've got it outside defensive 50, Bell Park.
Well done, Bell Park.
Would be a famous victory if they were able to overcome a 10-point deficit into the breeze. They lead by 10 right now at the 24.5-minute mark on the Port Phillip Ferry time clock.
Boundary throw-in, Tobin and Watts. Watts with a big left fist down. Gribble to run onto it, coming the way. Big Waters, beautiful. Blind turn, got the handball away to Fulton, who got the kick away. It's out of bounds on the full, is it? The umpire says no. Just in the field of play, Jaden Symes couldn't keep it in, so we're going to have a boundary throw-in on centre wing. On the outer side. Plenty of work for the boundary umpire on that side of the ground this afternoon. And throws it back in Anand. And Tobin gets it down. Fulton breaks free. Left foot kick. High towards centre half forward. Packed there from behind Marnie. Sheringham tried to tap it free. Lockie Handley just got the handball away. Symes dropped the footy in the tackle. Now free. Merkovic open goal square. Advantage paid. And he kicks the goal.
Game over, Jace.
Zach Merkovic has kicked his first. Great time to kick your first goal of the afternoon. And Bell Park go to 11-9-75. You would not believe it. They have kicked 6 straight goals in this final term. And they have turned a 9-point deficit into pretty much an unsaleable lead. 8-11-59, the Giants, 16 points of difference. Harvey Norman, K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
What do you say? What do you say? Except, well,
I want to know what James Saker said at three-quarter time.
100%, and we spoke about what he might have said. It'd be interesting to see what he did say.
Jane Birch, bit of an injury issue. Marnie coming from the field.
He is coming from the field. He's been a real focal point for them up there too. So, but I think they've got it. They're sealed this game.
He's just on his haunches at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully nothing too serious, because it's set up a mouth-watering matchup with Leopold next week, which I can tell you we will be at High Sushi Oval, as Bell Park have nearly done enough to put this one to bed. Now a chance inside forward 50. Wilson Mack straightening up. Wilson Mack with a flying shot. Wilson Mack. It's bounced and hit the post. It's taken a massive leg break. It's gone about 3 metres to the left and hit the post. They're first behind of the final term, but the margin is 17 as quickly getting West into the centre square with a kick in and a stoppage. They need everything to go right now, and unfortunately, they're done.
They are cooked. Ball up just inside the centre square at centre half forward for Bell Park. Tobin and Watts. Watts with a big fist. Patton roves it though. Left foot kick back inside. Merkovic, one hand, couldn't take it. Wilson Mack. Kick was partly smothered and goes out of bounds, does it? Umpire says no. George, well, he tried to keep it in and then he ran out. Ran out of room. And we'll have a boundary thrown right forward pocket for Bell Park.
This is a real disappointing day for West, considering Lara and North Shore to come in the next fortnight before the next bye. They'll be really disappointed to have given this one up to their near neighbour. From the boundary throw-in, chance for the Dragons.
Another holding the ball.
It is holding the ball.
World record amount of holding the balls as well, I think.
Against McMahon, I think that one is. It is. Free kick, right back pocket. Goes short to Wood. 20 from his defensive goal. Roll the dice stuff now. He goes short. Mark taken. Symes brings it wide. Wood just back of the wing. Kicks. Hoare has got it. 75 from home. Oh, it went to step inside Benstead. Like Philip Moy slipped over, and that's holding the ball. Went to take on the tackle. Well, he wanted to step around Steve Benstead, who right now, gee, I tell you what, you've got some options, Birchie, for Leopold Sporties, but Steve Benstead will be one name I suspect will be in your reckoning. He goes short to Payne, who's going to play in a win on debut, and a famous one at that. Left half back, he just sits it up. A high kick to the wing, flying but not marking front of the pack was Worm. Off the hands of the pack, the clearing kick comes for the Giants. Inside forward 50, front of the pack. Moy, wonderful rove. Can he finish? He can't. He hits the post 3/4 of the way up. And that is the last opportunity gone for Geelong West. Moy now with 4 goals, 2. He had 4 straight. Now he's got 4-2. They're 8-12 Geelong West. Bell Park 11-10.
So Gorman kicking in duties this time for Bell Park. Called to play on and does so. Drives it as long as he can to the outer side, half-back flank. Big pack there off hands at the back. Tyler Watts gives it away. Evans gets the kick fortuitously. Saw Giovanni inside 50. Good kick to Ballantyne, who's taken the mark. 45 out directly in front.
You can't muck around.
Nah, just got to go.
29 played, final term. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. 16 points of difference. This to make the margin 10 points. He's gone back on the nice Mitch Stark run up too.
Has no sense of the time.
He's just, look at me in the green boots as he comes in. Ballantyne gets on the runway, right foot kick, and he has sprayed it to the far side and through for 1 behind. They go to 8-13-61, the Giants. Bell Park 11-10, 76 Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
29.5 minutes almost ticked over on the Port Phillip Ferry's time clock. They have unbelievably into the breeze kicked 6 goals, 1. If you can believe that, 6-1. And the Giants have been kept to 1 goal. I've got 1 goal, 7 in this last quarter. Right back pocket. Off runs Wareham, who's been good this afternoon. A long driving ball went through the hands of Worm, who's been equally as effective. Little did the roving try to get a handball back to a teammate, but only as far as Fulton jammed it on the boot towards the outer side. It'll roll out in front of Charlie Sarcevic, and we'll get a boundary throw in just forward of the wing. So good day for the Dragons. They had a win in the 2s over the Giants, and they're going to pull this one out of the fire unbelievably. You would have got any old odds for them when they trailed by 9 points and kicking into the breeze at 3/4 time.
So boundary throw in, centre wing, Watts, free kick found, hold, said the umpire. And they've been holding on to Tyler Watts for most of the afternoon because he's way too big, but they're going to have the last laugh, I think. He gives it away to Handley. David, who goes inside 50, off the side of the pack, Moy. Annan comes over as well. Now Mick Waters got it away to Benstead. He got it to Gorman, now to Patton. By hand, Bell Park moving towards half forward. Sarcevic pushed off the football. Thought that was a fair bump, but anyway, the umpire said no, it wasn't. Charlie Sarcevic will take the free kick at right half forward.
I'm going to look at the free kick count on this on Monday.
And 50.
It's going to be 60 free kicks.
And 50, so you're going to come down to 15 metres out from goal for Bell Park, and I look forward to that text message, Kirsch, on Monday or Tuesday.
Don't worry about
nice. So Charlie Sarcevic, who has...
So was it Dwyer that gave away the free kick? Because if it was, all he's been guilty of there is being probably heavier than Charlie Sarcevic.
Yes,
That's about it.
It was.
That's a case of non-contact sport with that one, that free kick. Gee.
So Charlie Sarcevic walks down past his brother. He's going to line up from the goal square to put the 12th on the board for Bell Park and make the margin 21. He comes in. Oh, geez, he made the goal umpire work a bit, but he has put it through for a goal. He has. He wasn't too sure about it either, Charlie.
He looked back, didn't he?
But they've contributed 4 goals this afternoon. The Sarcevic boys, Charlie's first of the afternoon, and the 12th for Bell Park. And they go to 12-10-82. And they lead Geelong West 8-13-61, and that is on the Harvey Norman K-Rock final quarter scoreboard.
Well, young Will Tobin's going to sleep well tonight, Jace. He hasn't had much of a reprieve in the second half. He's just worked his butt off.
The shadows have lengthened here at West Oval, but the sun is shining brightly at High Sushi Oval as they will go to 4-4, the Dragons, and well and truly keep their season alive with a big battle against Leopold next week that they would go in full of confidence for. Clearing the kick is Worm, but only as far as the mark taken out there by Leopold, I think it was. He goes very wide to Lovell, gives off to Ballantyne. Ballantyne sends it inside forward 50, and Collins has got some rare free space this afternoon in that Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup with Boyer. From 51 metres out, he just sets it up to about 15 from goal. Annan comes with a run, spoil. Sarsevic's claimed the mark, has he?
Almost was.
And the umpire says, give it to me, I'm not paying that as a mark. No. So other hands potentially on it. Sarcevic gives the ball to the umpire, and about 13 metres out from goal, we'll see it go into the air. Watts, the tap down, roving, saw Giovanni. He went to try and throw it on the boot, but had no room to move. He's brought to ground. We'll get a ball up. And in the end, well, we thought we were going to get a grandstand finish. Well, we really haven't in the end.
No.
It's become all Bell Park in the last 15 minutes. Tap down again, Watts, trying to barge his way through Hoare. Patton, slung in the tackle, got a handball away. Trying to knock it to advantage, Mick Waters. Moy next to the boundary line. Out of bounds it goes. Right forward pocket, we'll see it spun back into play. 33.5 minutes played on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this final term that has seen, at this stage, 8 goals kicked.
So a throw in, 40 around from the Giants' goal. Watts gets it down. McMahon can't take it for Bell Park. Sarcevic got held on to. The umpire said play on. Comes back towards McMahon. There is the siren. Bell Park, great victory. They were 9 points down at three-quarter time. They win 12-10-82. Geelong West 8-13-61.
I don't think we saw it coming. They kicked 5 goals, 9 till the final change. And then they've banged on 7 goals, 1 in the last. Sparked by Toby Marnie and Jack Sarcevic. Goals for Charlie Sarcevic and Jackson Sheringham and Zach Merkovic as well. And they are able to overcome Geelong West. The Giants now 3-5. Bell Park improve to 4-4 ahead of a mouth-watering matchup with Leopold next Saturday afternoon. And we'll bring you that action from High Sushi Oval from 1 o'clock. As the Lions, who have done a number on North Shore this afternoon, look to push towards the top 5. But the Dragons, well, they've got skin in the game, Kirsch.
Oh, they're still alive, aren't they? They can see, well, they're going to get a lot of positives out of this because let's be honest, they didn't play great. The contest itself was good, but the game itself was not great. So they'll get a lot out of this and they'll learn a lot out of this. And they take another step forward towards what Jimmy Saker said at the start of the game. They're aiming for finals, and there's no reason why they can't keep aiming for finals. As for West, on the other hand, they're going to have to look at this tape, and they're going to have to review this game really hard, I reckon, because the game was there to be won, and they just didn't bring the effort in the last quarter.
So they'll trudge off There's obviously a couple of injury issues we'll keep an eye on for Bell Park, including Toby Marnie, who's got ice on a knee, and obviously Kai Edwards earlier. We'll get some updates on that. But we'll get down to Jane Birch. Birchie, looks like you've got Lockie Patton standing very close to you, and you'll have a chat to the Dragon skipper as you head off from the ground for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre.
I do have the winning skipper here, Lockie Patton. What an intriguing battle that was. There were sort of patches where you looked like you were clearly on top, particularly early in the game, and then they hit back and you had to come home against the breeze. But you played with heaps of freedom in that last quarter.
Yeah, it did feel like a big momentum game. But in the last quarter, we just thought we've got to take it on. We can't go back into our shell and just go long down the line or we won't win. So it was really good from the whole team. I thought it was a really 22-man effort in that last quarter. Everyone played really well.
And you particularly got back on top, I thought, in that last quarter in the contested game because your key number one ruckman went down. But, you obviously just had someone in there matching it, and then you guys were getting your hands on the ball and getting it out and getting it going your way, even though you were against that breeze.
Yeah, that was the key. We sort of had to just play really one-on-one and turn it into a bit of a scrap. But, credit to all the guys in there. I think old school Jack O'Shares wound back the clock a bit in that last quarter. I thought he was very good.
He did.
Well done. Congratulations.
Lockie Patton there for Geelong Sports Medicine Centre speaking with Jane Birch. We're going to go down and get the song from the Dragons' rooms. They'll be very happy, and we can confirm that we are off to High Sushi Oval next Saturday afternoon. We were working out where we were heading dependent on this result, and we will be making our way to Calvert Street for the first time in 20